Yeah. There we go.
Greetings, everybody. Welcome to this Whiskey Trick episode sponsored by Jameson. We'll get into that.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
We'll get it right into that. Hope everyone's doing well. So, yes, we're going to be talking about episode 4 of Picard season 3. So, overall, go around the board. There he is.
There he is. Yep.
How are we, gentlemen?
Welcome, welcome.
Sorry,
So we'll go around the horn.
I had to go get provisions.
Oh, yeah, S3E04.
No.
Yep.
No.
I told you I don't have Jamesons.
Neither do I, Chris.
That's where you go buy some.
When is the appropriate... Yeah, I did that. I mean, when is the appropriate time to pour it? Is now the appropriate time, or do we wait?
Oh, fuck it. This episode is sponsored. Not sponsored.
Okay, so then let me go get some ice, and I'll join you. Fuck it. All right.
Yeah, let's do it.
Let's do
So
it.
while we do it, I'll wait for you to come back.
We
and all
only
that.
just got back from Costco, so I
Bourbon
didn't have
neophyte.
Dan.
Cheese mate.
G'day, Anthony. Yep, it's now. Exactly. It's now.
Good day.
Cheers, Anthony.
Top
Hey,
shelf
Dustin.
Dustin.
Yep.
Cheers mate.
Hurry up and get your ass
Good
on
day.
here.
Lilith Morgan.
We forgot the Jameson.
Cheers, mate.
I know. You gotta have the Jameson. Because it hasn't changed in 500 years, so...
We'll pour some Irish at least.
Good day.
Oh,
I was thinking about having to go to
Cheers mate.
Dan's on the way back, but we were watching the storm coming in, and we thought,
Good
better
day.
get back.
Prescription bourbon. Cheers mate.
no, it's engineering
Accent, I think
colours.
might be more appropriate.
Aussie.
Come on, he's got an Australian accent. Give me a break. He even said
Right.
Bob's your uncle. That's an Aussie saying, not a British saying.
Alright, so around the horn, what did we think of this episode?
Space sea monkeys and fleeing asteroids. And Picard keep dropping F-bombs. I don't know.
Hey,
I just
Okay.
watched it tonight. I'm just like,
David Gesh.
that happened?
Cheers mate.
Oh, there we go.
There he is.
There he is.
And
This is
so
Jameson.
calling Captain Dick a dick.
I hit a new law.
Funny looking Jameson.
No, that's the wrong one, Dustin. You've got the wrong stuff there, man.
So sobriety it is, because I'm not drinking tonight then.
Good day.
There we go.
Stream elements. Cheers mate.
Christ, I'm still awake. 2 SDU streams in one day. I've hit a new low. And Brujo
But,
and Rum and nothing.
I now know that Donald's a giant, muscular mountain of a
Yeah.
man next to that little Jameson bottle. That's the full Jameson bottle.
Not gonna do. Nice.
And I'm doing it properly. I'm doing it how they did it. I've got plenty of ice. So,
And then pour it straight over. Yep.
right over.
I was just trying to find my rocks glass, but I'm the captain. I'll go civilized.
You know, I
Yeah,
did
I'm
appreciate that. I did appreciate that he was like, I want a cheap whiskey, and they're like, all right, here's Jameson.
On the-
They leaned into it.
I mean,
High
who
five.
knew that
Good
I've been
day.
doing,
5
correct
fingers.
Star Trek procedure for
Cheers,
most
mate.
of my life.
Yeah.
It was like
It
was like blunt product placement.
Oh, we were just saying that before the stream started. How much did Middleton pay these guys for that product placement? I wonder.
But at the same time, like
Mhm.
they openly trashed it as a garbage whiskey before
Yeah.
they did it.
Yeah, cheap.
Well, he said whiskey, preferably cheap.
Preferably
Yeah.
cheap and on ice. Yeah.
Yeah, like they basically said, "Look, this is garbage whiskey, and it's not so undrinkable. We're gonna put it on ice."
They did not say it was garbage. They just said it was cheap.
It was cheap.
It was cheap. Yeah.
Implied. It
I
was
won't correct me. I mean, sci-fi fans of media, which I happen not to be a fan of. Good night. Night, David. All right, so what did we all think of the episode overall?
It's the first episode of Star Trek.
Yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Like, this was start to finish Star Trek. They haven't.
Yeah.
Every other episode had like its moments of being Star Trek. This was just Star Trek.
I will say the end of the episode was very, very, very TNG. Like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Like-
I just thought it was really, really good that the episode started off just proving my theory right last week.
Yeah.
Good on you, Jim.
I think overall it was out of
Nothing-
all of
nothing better.
I think this is the most Star Trek with the crew going together
Yeah.
and you know doing what they do best, being Starfleet and you know on the ship solving problems, and then obviously you
Picard
get that
talks about
sci-fi
getting
element
laid.
as well.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean,
Yeah.
it had an incredibly stupid premise.
Yeah.
Yeah, but how many episodes of Star Trek have we seen with stupid things like that?
Exactly. It's why it's Star Trek. It's true.
Yeah, exactly.
It
But
all
it's kind of still plausible in some vague, distant
Yeah.
ideal thing. It's
I
not
mean-
stupid.
I feel like this isn't the first. I mean, if you think about Star Trek 1 and the way that all played out, you know, this is the first time you see the starship get shit out of something.
Yeah.
well, Jonathan,
Not really. It has happened before. I mean, we're going to talk about Fairpoint, and this is like
Farpoint,
yeah, this is
Jonathan-
kind of a far point.
Jonathan Franks did his by far and away best McCoy impersonation from Star Trekking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
He
Okay.
basically sat there and said, "It's worse than that. It's dead, Jim. It's dead, Jim.
Jim, it's dead. Jim. Yeah. That is true.
The other thing that was shocking in this episode was the fact that they kind of it was almost like they cut through and just like rushed to get a few scenes like over, whereas like it's felt like the first two seasons and so far even this season they've been just dragging shit along as slow as possible. Like the whole way they kind of got away from the evil enemy ship was just like, oh yeah, we're just gonna do this quick little thing here, no big deal, and let's move on.
Okay.
Like,
Well, I don't
think some of
remember.
that they realized, oh fuck, it's episode 4. We're still thinking around in this creature nebula thing. We still haven't done anything with Rappy and Worf. Fuck.
Well, Terry Masalis actually said these episodes in the Nebula should have been like 4 or 5 episodes because actually make it a real hunt for Red October, backwards and forwards, tense kind of thing. He really wanted to do that. He said that.
I think engineering just broke something.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
I
the
think
Nebula should have been one episode because it wasn't fucking Star Trek the way they did it. They should have just cut. This was not fun. This was not fun Star
I think
Trek.
the dilithium crystals have fallen out of the Matrix.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yep. I thought it was good. So we start the episode after the preamble of what happened
With the big one.
And we go to Enterprise
With the fat
C
one.
model.
No, that's Enterprise C.
That is not a fat.
Not the
This
fat
is
one.
Enterprise C.
Yeah,
Yep.
C looked a lot like Voyager.
No, it's
Yeah,
an
it
ambassador
makes
class. It's essentially like a galaxy class with a fat engineering hull.
Well, which made it
Yeah.
look more like a Voyager.
No, Voyager's a lot
Not
sweeter.
really.
Yeah, Voyager's a lot
Voyager,
bigger, and the Voyager's south section is like a big arrowhead.
I'm
Yeah,
just saying,
Yeah,
of, the
Intrepid
galaxy-
classes.
of the Enterprises, C is the closest to Voyager. That's all I'm saying. Not to
Okay.
say.
I mean,
I just want to know where they got these models because I want them. That would
Yeah,
be
no
cool.
kidding, right?
These- yeah,
I'm
all
sure
these
they-
silver shiny models all lined up.
They had a hell of a budget.
Well, didn't
Actually, no, they had fuck all budget. This was
Actually-
the smallest budget of all of the modern Star Trek shows. And that's one reason why Terry Masalis did such a great job, because he had to do such a great thing of revamping a lot of the sets because it's done on, it's a ship-based show. They're using 10 Forward. Again, they're using Vadix is from the Helios, and not the Helios. The Vadix bridge is the revamp of the piece of ship from season 1 and 2. The same as when Ralph is in there. It's the same.
Yeah. Oh
bridge.
God.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be the lowest budget they had, but it's still a hell of a budget. I mean, this was not cheaply done.
No.
And where did they get the models from, Ken? From the
La Serena.
rating of the Enterprise D after Riker crashed it.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
I mean, it's an undeniable fact. Star Trek has a history of reusing and repurposing old sets.
True. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I mean, Star Trek's always been done cheaply. Always.
I feel
This
slightly
thing is just
dirty.
weird.
I feel slightly
The first
dirty
episode
saying
of
this.
Picard is not cheap.
I could get used to JMO on the rocks again. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
James on the Rocks. I mean, it's a classic. All you need now is pickle juice.
No. Well, actually, I do have sour pickles in the fridge. I could.
I'm not a fan myself, but I know a lot of people love pickle juice, and James.
I've heard that too. Is that redacted?
No,
Did Jim just go redacted?
no.
You
It
did-
just looked.
No,
it
he
just
did not
looked
get
right.
Not
right.
bad.
I'll blame him off the
Cheers, mate.
engineering.
Nightbot. Chris
We actually-
Tats high fives 5 fingers.
We actually just got the new gold label here, and
Oh, okay.
yeah,
So we start the
Look at his
episode
dog. It's not redacted. It just looks that way because of the
Yeah.
green screen.
5 years ago, where Picard's sitting down, he's about to have some dinner, and all these bloody cadets come along and
This is
start asking
weird.
questions.
yeah. He's having fish and chips too.
Yeah,
Pretty
I
much.
was-
And I
Yeah.
despise what they did with this scene at the end of the episode.
How terribly
That was
I
just
think one thing with Terry, how the way, because Terry with his cohort from 12 Monkeys wrote this, and it's also directed by Jonathan Frakes, the same as the last episode. The same writers, same director. We've got a new director, new writer next episode, I think, and I think Terry has written the last 2, if I remember correctly.
Okay.
But I do like how it's been written that everything isn't just chucked in there for the hell of it. It actually makes sense. It links, it sets things up, and there's a payoff, which is not like the previous Star Trek stuff, which is just random weird ass going on.
The first thing I thought of when all these cadets popped up was Star Trek 4, and when they're all standing on the street corner, and Kirk goes, "You break it up. You look like a cadet review."
What's with
And he says, yeah,
what's with their their little comms? Like that looks very much not like, because this is essentially just right after TNG. Like, why don't they have the TNG?
no,
one
it's the same comm badge because you see it in a couple more shots. You can actually see it's the same comm badge that Shaw's wearing and Riker's wearing. It's the same delta with the little tabby bits coming down.
Yeah, but they're making it sound like this was long enough ago, where I would have expected it to be the same badge they're using in Next Generation, because it was probably.
No, this is only 5 years ago. This is only 5 years ago.
Oh, it was only 5 years ago. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
All
only
right.
5 years because at the beginning it says 5 years ago, so it's very recent. So you would expect them to be the same kind of.
Okay, gotcha.
But then, because then he says, if everything's going to shit and it's all there's always hope. So that kind of sets
Also,
up.
That was a nice.
in that case, you got to wonder what happens in the future. We decided that technology needs to get bigger, not smaller.
Yeah.
and it slaps Riker around again because Riker crashes the ship and tries to blow it up, and then it's worse than that. It's dead Jim, and doesn't have faith in the crew because he's a really shit captain, and
I don't know about that.
I don't know.
I think there was more pathos going on there than just he's a really shit captain.
Riker was pretty obviously a shit captain in this, at least in this episode or last 2.
I'm just saying this episode
Yeah,
just
Tom Dog,
reinforced my theory from last week. That's all.
What? While breaking it at the same time.
So then we cut to current time when he's in the room after he just got told to bugger off on the bridge because he killed everyone. So he's thinking back of that 5 years ago where it was like, there's still hope, because this episode is called No Win Scenario.
Yep.
And then obviously, so he's looking out.
As well have called
I put this shot up for the simple reason they're definitely going for that cinematic look because they're using the blue and the teal, which is a very cinematic color scheme.
I have some strong thoughts about the red alert lighting in this, but
This
Yeah.
shit. Like, let's just be real. This looks like shit.
It is so dark. I mean, everybody who's been reviewing this season is pretty much saying, okay, we can understand this is a modern aesthetic. Cinematically, it's very nice, but it's so freaking dark. It's
and if you get a shot of the red alert lighting, I'll chime in with my thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, there were a few moments where, like, it was like, oh my god, they turned the lights on, and then like, it's just, it's so goddamn dark that every time that
I've said that the last couple of weeks that Captain Dick likes it nice and dark, and when 7 of 9 was on the bridge, it was suddenly bright because she turned the lights up.
Yeah, and I guess Captain Riker is a vampire.
Must be.
Well, you know,
there's that red alert lighting that's coming through and hitting his face.
Yeah. So why is
It's
it
all doomed.
that during red alert? Why is it during the red alert, the whole goddamn ship is lit up like an Amsterdam whorehouse in a red light district?
Yeah, everybody's quarters. You would think a little bit of rim light. Oh, I shouldn't have said rim light since we're talking about a whorehouse. Everybody's quarters is super, super red. Like later on when we see Shaw when he's got his feet up doing his knife, it's like you say, a whorehouse. Yeah.
Yeah, it's lit up like an Amsterdam red light whorehouse, and I'm with you.
With that.
I'm with you, Ken. I don't know why they don't have the rim job lighting around.
Yeah, exactly. We did rim job instead of the full whorehouse.
I just want to know who was involved in this like season, who was like, watching this and like, reviewing it, who wasn't like, guys, shouldn't we have lights on the ship? Like how do they get all the way?
It's actually interesting because the guys that have actually seen the 6 episodes that got pre-released out to press, they said it was a lot brighter. So I don't know whether they've changed it when they brought it out.
So they made it dark post. Jeez.
Well, bear in mind on this episode, your proof is right off to the left here in the screen cap. They were running on low power the whole episode, so that's why it was kind of dark and.
It does make, it does make sense for this episode that they've got hardly any power and they're reducing power output and stuff. But even though all the other episodes and all of modern day Trek is super dark and
but the thing is, this was the brightest episode I think that we've had of the season. Like, I feel like this episode,
only because of the waves kicking. But yeah, supposedly after the first couple of episodes, everyone complained about the darkness, so they've actually gone back and edited it. But that kind of increases
maybe it's just the fact that Jeff Bezos is using all the power from the lighting for his giant flying penis.
They
couldn't afford any more lighting.
Damn you, Amazon.
But yeah, the Elcars here is
shot.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, and if you've gone into Whiskey Trek, there's actually a guy who's made this Elcars.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, you can actually click on it and it runs. It's a full animated. The ship turns and really awesome.
Yep.
So yeah, we get to on the bridge and they're saying that we're pretty much screwed. We got no power. Each time we get one of these waves, we're knackered. And then Riker goes in and they're both trying to apologize to each other. And Riker's like, "Well, we're kind of screwed. You may want to talk to your boy because you only got a couple."
This is basically like Riker saying, "Bend over, kiss your own arse goodbye, and
This
talk to your
scene
son."
bothered the hell out of me. Although I guess in hindsight, when you consider what Riker's been through, it makes sense. But at the time, my immediate reaction was, "Is he a changeling?" Because that did seem so un-Riker. We're going to be walking in and go, "Yeah, we're fucked. We're all going to die."
Don't say that, because remember, if you say that he's a changeling, like I suggested sort of thing last week, Donald said that he would have to go and get some magic mushrooms.
I
obviously they just proved that like 3 minutes later when he started recording messages at the end. It's like, okay, clearly not a changeling.
Thank God.
Yeah, but that's what you basically took the piss out of me last week, Jim, when I said that. You were like, no way, and now you're
I know.
I know. Yeah, and thank God I didn't have to go get magic mushrooms for today, because that would have made this discussion very interesting.
That would have been hilarious.
But look how quickly they went from like why would Riker leave the bridge that quickly? That was the part that I was like dude,
what else was he gonna do?
It's straight from when he just told the captain to F off. And now they're screwed. They're flying through space. they kind of
can you imagine Picard well, we're gonna die. All right, guys, I'm gonna go to my 10-4, go have a drink. I don't see it. The captain shouldn't leave the bridge.
It is kind of little. I do agree with it. It does have that kind of doomy gloomy, but it does. He's trying to do Terry and the writers. They're trying to do the setup of okay, this is all doom and gloom. We're all going to die. Blah blah blah. Kiss their ass goodbye. And the whole episode is pretty much them about no, like Beverly says later on. We're Starfleet. We're good at our job. We've got this experience. Let's do what we do and go down fighting and. See if we can make something happen. Yeah. So.
Yeah. She was doing a Lieutenant Uhura. There's Klingons on the starboard bow.
Yeah. But it took somebody who's been out of Starfleet for 20-something years, effectively, to be like, "Hey guys, maybe we should just do our jobs."
I think she's kind of still in Starfleet because she's kind of running on the rim of being Starfleet kind of thing.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, again, there's a level of cheesiness that's going on here, where it's like the writers want to do this dramatic shit. Yeah. But then they're like, "Oh yeah, that's right. It's still Star Trek. We're supposed to be the best."
Yeah. Well, all that it is the fact that Riker changed from jazz to the blues.
Nice. So Riker saying, "Yep, we're screwed."
Yep.
And that's right. This is where he talks about, and he also talks about why he pretty much went off at Picard and didn't listen to him. Mm-hmm. Because he saw his son going 6 feet, and now his whole life is being looking into the abyss because he doesn't think there's an afterlife, and now he's tried to escape from Deanna because she's an empath and can read him that he's soulless, and now he's into the belly of the beast and looking at death in its face. So that kind of gives it a
at the same time, it's like he's saying you're right, but it's like, no, Picard was wrong. The way they just explained this ship they were going to fight was they would not have won if they just attacked. And they've yet to go back to this whole we were fighting an enemy that had zero chance of losing to us. And that's the part that they keep coming back and forth with. It's like this ship they're in is supposed to be a piece of shit compared to this enemy vessel, and now they're like, yeah, I should have attacked it.
No, he should have done it sooner when he still had the element of surprise. By the time he did it, the element of surprise was gone.
Well, yeah, I get
that's
that.
Right. And then he lashed out because it didn't work. He lashed out in Picard when really he was his number one. He was advising you take responsibility.
They set it up where that ship wouldn't have lost had they launched all these.
Fair enough. They were together. But they could have put up a fight.
But no, we're going to get to where they actually go back and fight this ship, and it turns out the ship's not that strong. But again, it kind of goes back to they set us up where this was an unbeatable enemy, and apparently maybe not so much.
Yeah, but
to
that point,
brewing out.
How does that portal weapon work?
Because-
Wouldn't they get caught in it themselves if they throw it out in front of themselves like that?
Yeah, I just want to know, like, were there
They
no
fly in,
phasers or torpedoes on that ship? Like, did they not have anything to attack with? Like, all they had was portals and a tractor beam that like can throw rocks at you.
No, you got disruptors.
No,
too.
well, they listed the absolute plethora of armament that thing had.
Yeah.
Well, I know,
and it did have, and it was firing torpedoes, like you said at the beginning of this episode when it blasting the shit out of the Titan.
Yeah.
It was just
So yeah,
such a
no win episode written by Terry and the other guy. Forgive me, I can't remember his name, and obviously directed by Frakes again. And then
And-
Seven's like
No involvement from Kurtzman, practically.
And
other
all I
than
can
to
say is,
no. Well,
all I can
Kurtzman's got no involvement with this show whatsoever because he's off doing that other show. I can't think of the name of it. That's why Terry pretty much, even Terry said that. Like people were asking him, how did you get away with doing a lot of this stuff? And he's like, they weren't paying any attention. I could just do what I wanted to do, pretty much. You got a free reign because everyone else
all I can
is
say-
doing other stuff.
this shot, Ken, is someone's putting a hand up to be the next James Bond.
Yeah.
The
And
name
I found it weird with this phaser. Like the nose
That
of it
is-
is super short, and the back of it goes way back down to here. It's like
it's a Walter PPK phaser.
It-
All she
it-
needs to do
yeah.
is say the
Like
name is.
BBK phaser.
it's like they took the next generation phaser and they made it a hybrid with the Romulan disruptor. And they
Wow. No.
Yeah.
It's Hansen. Annika Hansen. And then just points it at the camera and goes bang. That's it.
Also, what the fuck? What is she doing with her nails there? Like, what is with those?
Yeah, I don't get that.
no, that's a Borg implants.
I don't
Yeah.
remember having Borg implants on her hands like that. Maybe I'm
Yeah,
just,
Yeah,
neither
She's
do
always
I.
had.
as she,
No,
I,
she's
always had it,
always.
'cause-
Go back and watch it. She's always had.
I don't remember
Really?
having
It was-
nails like that.
like
Okay.
a power glove.
Voyager.
Yeah, I'll have to rewatch
It's on-
Voyager to see that.
I don't
It's all in
remember that.
Voyager.
It was-
They couldn't take them off because she actually uses it a couple of times to kind of assimilate the technology and stuff.
I thought she had stuff on her like her knuckles. I don't remember her having it on her nails.
Yeah, same here.
No, it was like a full glove thing that pretty much went
Yeah, it
halfway
was
up.
like a power glove, like whiskey
Okay.
dick.
Yeah,
Bill
pretty much
wears.
power glove. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
just I don't remember that the nail part at all. But I could be wrong. Voyager's probably the Star Trek I've watched the least. So
I just
Yeah.
wouldn't want to have
Come
really
on,
long
everyone-
fingers because you're going to blast your finger off with this phaser. Because
It's the new Jane
Everyone
Bond.
what Voyager just
That's
That's all I got.
Yeah.
Tell your finger. Watch where you point your finger.
she goes into the transporter's quarters and finds his corpse, and obviously there was
Yep.
some cool little things with the Vulcan
It
game,
looks
which I
pretty
can't
good
remember
for a
anymore.
guy who's been dead for a couple of weeks. So
Yeah. Well, that
Yeah,
was the
so
whole
she
point.
discovers that he's been there before
while.
Crusher. The Crusher's got on,
Yep.
so it's like, oh,
Look at Captain Dick. You're not so good at your job.
yeah. So then she goes to Riker and says, "Look, we need to go find this guy and get rid of him because he's causing some damage and like he just blew up that UPS conduit." And Riker's like, "Well, actually, you should stay still being reprimanded, and you could be in the background, and you won't raise more suspicion."
Yeah, keep it quiet because
Smart.
of crew morale.
keep
Yeah,
it quiet.
yeah, which makes total sense.
no, I think it was just more at that situation. Part of it too. I was sitting there going, "Yeah, Riker's sitting there going, great. What else do I need? I've already blown up the ship. now I've got
I've already killed everybody.
There's a changeling on board who's going to kill everybody."
Chris really, really does not like Riker.
No kidding.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I was in my head. I'm like, well, if they all think they're gonna die, well, the changeling probably now is the person who's gonna save them. That's what I was thinking.
He's not Odo.
Because the changelings don't want to die either. Like,
Well, apparently this sect is like They sound like the fucking
Yeah.
ISIS
Says
sect of
thanks
the
for the light.
changelings.
Also, by the way,
Go back,
Yeah.
also
go back
by
to
the
Deep
way,
Space
Ken,
Nine, the changelings would do whatever they had to do to make their plan work. So if
Yeah,
one
I
of
mean-
them
Ice
had
cream man,
to
he's
go,
coming. We've got ice cream man coming past. Ice cream man.
also by the way, notice
Some ice cream to go with my Jameson.
like
Yeah,
I can
we'll
actually
run
see
after
the
it.
face. Like there's lighting here.
I know
Yeah,
you can
there
actually see.
Yeah, I'm like, it's like, wait a minute, now I can see. Like, it's about this point in the episode where like suddenly they have
the
light.
turbo lift there.
And wouldn't you have all the red lights you've got in the quarters that we just seen? And I mean, there's no red in there. And this is like
I know.
the
The ready
conference
room
room.
or the
No red,
like-
but we go back to here, and it's red as red in his quarters.
Yeah, but it's still dark.
Then
as fuck.
in the turbo lift, which would be really important to if you're in red alert, because you need to get the hell out of the turbo lift, because if that thing gets damaged, you're kind of screwed.
I mean, if you've ever been stuck in an elevator, you know you need to get the hell out of there very quickly. Like you just don't want to be there.
Exactly, and
Maybe
not only
just
that,
stop
if it's
it.
red
All of a
alert, you
sudden,
need
like-
to get to your action quarters where you need to
Yeah.
be.
Yeah, all of a
Exactly.
sudden you can almost see both cheekbones. Like look at that. Like the lighting has gotten good enough to now see like the not just half a face, but the whole face.
Yep. So then she goes, "Well, I gotta go." I love this bit when you hear the thing. We see him doing the sharpening his knife, and this is a callback to 12 Monkeys because when you first meet,
Yeah.
he's
Yeah,
Captain,
wasn't he in 12 Monkeys?
Captain Cock.
12 Monkeys. Second.
It wasn't.
I still don't like it.
The actor, wasn't the actor who
Still
played
don't
Shot
like it.
in 12 Monkeys?
I
Yes,
like
he
how
was.
she
I'm not sure.
calls
It starts with D. It's yeah. So Terry, not Terry. Todd Shashwick, who plays Liam Shaw, played the main guy in 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
So yeah, you get the door chime.
Like,
Sure,
couldn't be
don't
a-
come.
I get
Don't
he's
come.
desperate. Jesus.
Fine.
Like,
I he,
Dickish is by about a factor of 10.
Yeah.
but we find out why, and not only that, he's on
Fair
some
enough.
serious-
I'll give you that.
I mean, where is the Dutch dominatrix in this scene? Because that's all that's missing with the lighting.
I think
Don't come, don't come.
Donald's having fantasies about traveling over to Amsterdam and getting laid.
Well, I mean, wouldn't you with lighting like
I
that?
can say
I mean,
that. Cheers,
wouldn't
mate.
you want to have a Dutch dominatrix and have your safe word?
And
be
lights
beat
hanging
up?
saying, "Wouldn't you be suspicious of Borg? You know, being your number one." Yeah.
I mean, we're 20 plus years past that. Like, yeah.
It doesn't matter, man. That's
It's got
still
nothing
fresh.
to do with it.
When you think about it.
The other thing that
Yeah, we know, but you know.
The other thing that bothers me about this is why the fuck has he got a cast on? In TNG, you got a broken bone that just ran the scanner or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
Boom, healed. Now he's in a fucking cast, an air
Even
cast.
Doctor sucks.
So, hello? Like, did
Oh
we
well,
suddenly-
you do see some of the episodes where they actually put like a casting on for it to heal.
I don't buy it. It's like we're making Star Trek medical now. It's like, okay, I get it for the dramatic effect. He's hurt, he's in his quarters, he's brooding. Fine, but
Well, but I mean, we're not on the flagship of Starfleet. We're on a lesser ship here.
no, but even still, I mean, in Voyager, it was the same thing. Oh, I've been in the holodeck. I fell. My arm's in 5 pieces. Bzzz, done.
Yeah, patch it up. Yep, back and running again. And the same on Deep
Walk
Space
around
Nine.
with gas
When
and
you
a
walk
cane.
inside
Yeah.
it would be
Where
breaking
did
each
they get
other.
a fucking cane on the starship that
I will go
waste
back to
energy
a comment that I made.
to use a
I'll go
replicator
back
to
to a
make
comment I
a
made the other week, where I said that the Trill Doctor basically has no idea really what she's doing.
I have to agree.
Diagnosed internal bleeding.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
What
So
did you call it?
I know you guys not a big fan of Shaw, but
Yeah,
I
fair enough.
really
Fair
like. I kind of
Well,
like
he-
Shaw. And Captain Dick
Okay,
was funny.
growing on me like
Yeah,
mold.
Yeah, no, Captain
He's
Cock
just
is
awesome.
like
He's
mold
growing
on
on me.
cheese.
He's getting the best lines.
He is.
He's got the best
yeah.
lines, and Terry's written them for him because Todd Shatchwick said that Terry pretty much wrote this for him. He didn't have to audition for this part. Terry just wrote it for him because he obviously worked with him on 12 Monkeys. So he just wrote this, and Todd said it fits him like a glove, and it's just him.
I will say, really well done, extremely well done, but still, he's a detestable fucking zit that I would just love to pop.
I mean, Todd even said that, you know,
but not wholly.
he's the guy you love to hate, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
And-
they made him a full character in this episode. Like
They did.
At this point, he's been very
Again,
incomplete.
yeah, exactly.
And now they've actually made him into a person.
I've just got to go shut some windows, guys. We've got a storm hitting.
All right.
Yeah, I was just going to
that's
say,
not
near wind. And that
So I just like it when he's shot and he's cutting the knife and the door is going, don't come. Fine, open. It's like, hey, handsome, bang up job you heroes are doing with my ship. Love the view.
But again,
And then she's like, can we talk officially? No. Unofficially? No. He's like, he just doesn't want it. He just doesn't. He's just done.
Yeah.
He just doesn't give a shit. Yeah. But then they had this great.
Stories out of the pram.
Well, I mean, the guy nearly died.
Then they had this great.
He's just not in the mood to have a conversation.
And he's on some serious meds that Beverly's given him.
Yes.
And on top of that, I mean, again, he's in the dark. He can't see anything. I mean, the poor guy is.
True.
I mean,
He probably just cut himself a couple of times for trying to clean sharpen his knife.
I mean, again,
Sorry,
you would think
we've
Dr.
got,
I think I get it now, Donald.
Oh, you get it?
I get it now because
Thank God.
most of the time I pour this is like, today I poured it and I'm just like, oh, this is nasty. It's just all
we've got
gross.
Thank God.
Marvin
you've
the
seen the
Martian.
light.
Well, I'm never gonna buy another bottle of it, but it's like I thought it was passable. Now I'm just like, ugh, gross.
Yeah.
Ugh. What the
And
fuck?
you're-
I mean, I'm
What's
surprised there
boring
isn't everybody in medical with this ship because you can't see a bloody thing. You'd just be walking into shit right and center.
We walk around in the dark.
Like I said, like when those waves and stuff start coming, all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, you can see on the ship. They do have
For
lights.
5 seconds.
Yeah, but that was exterior lights. It wasn't their ship.
No, it was every time the energy wave hit, it would cause the lights in the ship to go brighter for like 5 seconds.
Yeah, and you're like,
Yeah, and I was like, oh, that actually looks like a livable place.
Yeah.
exactly.
So they're obviously he's trying to send a message, you know, because he's about to cark it. He's trying to send a message, and he just can't do it. But I want this table. I really want this.
Yeah, that's pretty goddamn cool. Yeah, I will admit.
Yeah, I want that.
Yep.
That would be sweet. So here we go. So we're now. Riker needs to go talk to his son because, you know, they're all about to die. So we're trying to have that heart to heart.
All right.
And like we've addressed, he comes in and he's like, want a drink? Yeah, I'll have a drink. And Picard's like, yeah, I've got this great bottle of my wine.
Picard, yeah.
Jack's like, yeah, no, I don't like wine. I like
Picard is like,
whiskey, preferably cheap, on the rocks.
Yeah.
And what do we
then-
see? As he pulls it out, we see the top of Jameson and both. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Donald and
wasn't
myself.
subtle there,
Jameson. Straight up.
Yeah, it was very much not subtle. Like it's like very.
No,
It was not subtle at all.
nope.
And then I immediately, because you get this scene, and then they cut to this scene, and you see Jameson like, there we go. And then the next scene, when I cut back to Jack, we see this. It's freaking backwards.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, continuity error. Because then the next shot, it's turned around again.
and as we were saying, in 400 years, they haven't changed the label.
Yeah, apparently Jameson can never change the label again.
No,
Or
never.
They'll ruin the Star Trek.
Now, not only will you piss off fans of the product, you're going to piss off Star Trek fans. And Middleton do not want that.
No.
Unfortunately for us, let's be honest, Jameson sells to college kids. So they
Yeah,
don't
20-year-old me was happier than a pig in shit to see that. I'm like, I could do
Oh,
that.
me too.
Yes. Like,
Mhm.
Yeah,
I used
totally.
to do that.
I mean,
I don't like
I've
Jameson.
always liked Jameson. Jameson is like for out of all the bottom end whiskies that you can get, where Jack Daniels, Jim Beam, and all that. I think Jameson is one of the
Yeah,
Red Leg.
I've always had a soft spot for JMO too, which is why I'm gonna go get more ice and pour more.
Ugh.
Now that we're on
the
this
whole
point.
metallic taste of Jameson. Ugh.
No, the ice kills it. It kills it.
I've had
It's
it on
fine.
It does.
man. It's
And
just
if
so-
you let the bottle go down to this level where it's almost empty, the metallic's gone.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
quite
I don't-
creamy and buttery.
I'm going to go get more ice. I'll be back.
Ugh.
I don't want
Okay.
to buy one that I need to spend 30 years to let it to open up.
So, I don't have any Jameson, but I do have this bottom shelf Irish.
What is that?
Well, maybe the name tag would hovering in the middle of the screen.
Oh, Bushmills.
Bushmills.
Nice.
Maybe Bushmills.
Hold it.
It'll do.
So, Lil,
Big.
yes, but no, because it is literally these three shots go one to the other, and they're talking the whole time. There is no cut. It is literally. Oh, what am I doing? It's literally he pours it. You see this shot, then it cuts to this shot, and then cuts to this shot. Like it is like bang, bang, bang. There was no time for them to pour a drink. They literally just poured it. So, yeah.
Maybe it's just one of those really advanced bottles where it changes the label state.
No, it's
It is
self-rotating.
the holodeck.
Yeah, it's basically scrolls through the different label.
Okay, that reminds me.
No, we're going to talk
It's
about the holodeck thing because it was a really cool thing that they actually addressed.
I mean, it is
Oh,
a
ice cream man,
hologram.
fantastic. Yeah,
What's that?
but
It is
still,
a hologram
can we all have a holodeck where we can literally just go into and have any whiskey we want, and when it's empty, it just regenerates?
Well, we wouldn't need our freighter offshore then.
No, we could just any bottle we want. It's like computer
Yeah,
generate
but
such and such bottle and it just appears right in front of you.
because you could do
Yeah,
that.
because it's going to be simulated synth the whole kind of
Yes,
thing that gives you the sensation, but not the full experience. Yeah.
Get out of my head.
We're in Star Trek world where there's no money, but he still wants cheap whiskey.
Yeah, yeah, true. And you're about to die.
If
I
you're
mean-
about to die, you're like,
Don't
I want
look it.
cheap. I don't know what money is, but I want cheap. Like, okay.
Okay. I mean, I'm game. Caused me to go out and buy a bottle of Jameson and some specialized ice. So,
Specialized ice.
Visualize us.
yep. It's
Make ice
actually
in your freezer. Yeah, the
I can
specialized
honestly
No,
say at no point did I ever think from that episode that I should buy Jameson.
Oh, as soon as I watched this, I went immediately, oh, I know what we're drinking on this episode.
oh yeah,
Straight up.
straight up.
I
And I even said right at the beginning, and you might have missed it, I said right at the beginning, well, this episode of Whiskey Trip is sponsored by Jameson, not sponsored.
Yeah,
But,
so
Well, I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
holodeck.
had I seen something other than this, maybe if I'd seen like the 18 cast drink Jameson, I would have bought it. But instead, today I bought a Willet 8 Year Rye.
It was too
Yeah,
low
no,
brow for Dustin.
I went and I immediately bought a 75
Whoa.
cheap JMO.
Whoa.
Oh, nice.
Holy.
Also, I did find this.
Oh.
Finally found the lucky
Was that the wind?
toast.
No, that's lightning and thunder. We've got a massive
Oh,
storm.
okay.
heading-
Chris, can you send some of that over? Just send it in the transporter. Just beam some of that over. I'd love some of that.
Teleport it over.
Yep.
We had that like 2
We're not
weeks
getting-
ago here though, with snow.
No, I don't want that. I just want good old thunder and lightning.
Yeah, you.
I was on the holiday.
Holy
That,
shit.
oh, damn.
Okay.
Batten
turn
down
on
the
the
hatches.
Yeah, no kidding.
Shit to
It
kill,
was
shit
like-
to kill.
Yeah, it was like that for me a couple of weeks ago. I was on stream and all of a sudden thunder and lightning. I look out the window, the snow's blowing sideways, and I'm like, oh, thunder snow. The world is ending.
Saw that
I
one
love
over
the
to the
world.
way. Nice.
You've been
So, could you catch a buzz on the holodeck? No, probably not, because it's all just. Well, how are they going to give you the sensation? I mean, it's all just replicated thing that has flavor. It's all
Well,
just
the
made out of-
holodeck, yeah, but the holodeck is basically the same as transporter technology. So conceivably, they could reconstitute it to where it'll give you a kick in the arse.
I mean, I suppose they could give you the.
I always got the impression it gave you like a buzz, but you couldn't get drunk. It was like it got halfway there.
Come on,
What's
it's
a
80
buzz?
proof. It's only going to give you a buzz.
That's true. You could pretty much.
Oh yeah, but the thing with Jameson is, it comes in 1 liter bottles, and you drink a shitload of it, it'll fuck you up.
Mhm. It will definitely just take it from me. Niagara Falls is proof in the pudding because after all those JMOs, 4 a.m. trying to stand up outside of Burger King with your friends is, not great.
So, can I have one of these? I don't drink coffee or anything, but I want one.
Yeah, you could put your Bovril or Vegemite in there.
It's very personal. Jeez.
You can put
Yeah.
your G&T in there.
Good day.
I could, yeah.
Eric Waite Whiskey Stutters.
Hey, Eric.
Cheers, mate.
First of all, if you get you drunk but you're not out of control, you can stop it with your will.
Apparently, Chris is under attack from Klingons.
No shit.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I mean, that's Klingon disruptor fire coming in from all.
No, it's basically Marvin the Martian.
Transferring
Oh, okay.
power.
Maybe
to the field.
you still. Well, we're still stuck in the nebula, so it's all those waves
Could
coming
be.
in.
Yeah,
No,
his
well,
eighth-
as I said, it's just Marvin the Martian. He's basically sitting there going, "Where's your saccharine kaboom?"
Where's their show?
I never thought I'd see a modern day beverage on Star Trek, but there we go. Yeah, I wonder how much we've been talking about that. How much did Jameson pay?
yeah.
Yeah,
How much
so-
did the folks at Middleton pay? Exactly.
Well, it's
Yeah.
because Sazerac spent all their money on Yellowstone.
And walk
Well,
out.
this
They're
is-
spending all their money with playing logistics companies to figure out where they can hide their whiskey while still producing an obscene amount of it.
Yeah.
Oh, we put it in
The
this
other episode, even in this season, it's been that
Bourbon.
made up whiskey. Wouldn't you just use some generic made up whiskey, like the same whiskey they've used in all the other episodes? But
Yeah, like that's
Yeah,
the whole thing. Pernod Ricard gave them some serious coin to put that in there.
Yeah.
They had to.
Yep.
have.
because it's like everywhere in
So-
this whole scene, and multiple.
Yeah.
So while we're on the holiday,
No, I disagree because I thought exactly that, and it's like, no, it needs to be next week, which is St. Paddy's Day. If they bought this episode on that, would have been perfect.
And it
So-
looks so fucking out of place on that set too. Like it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You're just like, the hell is that?
maybe it's a vintage bottle.
Yeah. When you've got
No,
all this cool looking Star Trek type stuff.
Yeah, and then you
It's
got fucking
JMO.
JMO.
And then you got that shitty
old
James.
stuff.
And then you've got Jameson, and like you said, Donald, it hasn't changed in 500 years. They've never changed it.
They've never changed the label. Like now they're in trouble.
I just thought my initial reaction when I saw that was freaking Jameson.
I mean, I was
Yep.
kind of, giddy when I saw that. I'm like, so.
I was
20
taken
year old-
back because you see that, you see this, you see that.
Yeah.
like that. That's when you see it and I went, oh shit, is that? No, it can't be. Is it?
It's JMO. Yeah.
Okay, first off, I think
Yeah,
Hank made you
No,
a
it,
good
it
point.
can't be. When it comes out.
I mean, I've been
When
doing
the
the
Richards
proper
come to the bar and
Starfleet.
we do not grab booze, I call bullshit on the scene. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean-
so taking it back the Jameson conversation though, this was one of like the most like this might have been the best scene in all of Picard. The level of awkwardness in this conversation they have is it's so true to actually life. Like this is better than 99% of like what you see on TV. I mean, it was such an awkward, weird conversation, and that's what it would be if you had a 20-something-year-old kid you talk for the first time. Like this was so weird.
Yeah,
so
you've got like an hour and a half to live, and you're trying to get to know your son. And Picard's really opening up. He's talking about his stuff, and then when Jack was like, there's one bit where he opens up a little bit that he doesn't need family and all that stuff, which is a cover up because we'll talk about that later for the payoff. But then he talked about with the Andorian and stuff, and Picard's like, "Oh, great! I'm talking about some random story about nothing about his life or anything." It's just so anyway. So we go back to.
So 1 second. So before we hop out of the holodeck, something that they brought up in there that I was like, "What?"
That's what I was going to address. Yeah. As soon as you go, then Jack
all of a
goes.
sudden, the holodecks have their own independent power supplies now.
Apparently,
What?
yes.
Excuse me.
Yeah, but he said because it's for this kind of thing. If the world's about to go to end,
Holodeck has always been on.
Oh yeah. That was a great line too, Eric.
Oh, that's right, the hair thing. Yeah. So when this happening, he goes, "What's your age?" And he says 23 or 24, and he's like, "Enjoy it while you got it."
The hair, when that happened, enjoy it while it lasts.
Enjoy it while you got it.
Yeah,
That's it.
That was pretty good.
and we're once again back to in the future they can heal a bone wound instantly, but they still can't address male pattern baldness.
Maybe they choose not to.
Can't address that. They also can't address that women can just walk away with your kids. It's the future's not
Well,
good.
most of us here are all follically challenged, and we're all proud of it. So
Yeah.
Think yourself.
Not all of us.
no, as I said, like,
Fucking Clay-Doh.
so we're back in here, and he's all drunk, and he can't. So he's like, "They're goo people, walking, talking, Clay-Doh." And I thought, I love these lines. I love these fucking lines. Because Seven doesn't know anything about the whole Dominion War or anything, because she was, the other side of the galaxy kind of thing.
Well, yeah. When did Voyager? I thought Voyager ended before the Dominion War ended.
Oh,
No,
but this was great.
This was Seven speaking for everybody watching.
No, but he's like, "Oh, you're wonderful. You're going to make a great captain. You're a leader."
Yeah, I was so wrong. I underestimated you. You're great in your job, and you're going to make a great captain one day.
And then
And I would say that if you're a changeling and not just a dick.
Yeah, pretty much.
I honestly thought Chris was talking through her at that point. Like, because Chris has just been so overtly like Captain Dick, and I was like, and she just called him a dick.
Yeah, no, he's Captain Cock. We have Captain Kirk. This guy's officially Captain Cock. So.
Yeah, but wasn't Captain Kirk kind of Captain Cock? With all the
Well, Captain Kirk was a different kind of Captain Cock. He wanted to lay everything that he came into contact.
He was a cocksman.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's carried through the maternal side hanger, but it's still passed down from your great grandfather, your grandfather. Passed through.
James T. Kirk, in the words of Robin Hood Men in Tights, was cock strong and head sure.
Yep.
Head sure
and then we
cock strong.
Going backwards and forwards, like, okay, you need
so I didn't even catch that. That's awesome. I never seen Odo reference.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't catch this, but this was a great.
Odo fought with a lot less for it.
I just think it's funny that the bucket with later is the exact same bucket.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, she seemingly found that bucket awfully fast. That was just like, what the hell? Come on.
It was a waste paper.
Oh, I didn't catch that. Shit.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't say that either, did you? Yeah,
No,
so
I
this
did
is a
not
great
catch that.
homage to the late Renee.
Wow.
Yeah.
It was a waste paper bin that he had. It wasn't even. It was a
Yep,
majority.
member berry moment, exactly, Eric.
Yeah.
Member berry
Yeah.
moment. It was a great homage to the late Renee, which is the second time because Worf said, "My great friend of great honor."
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know.
Why does Seven still have the eyepiece frame? Because they can't remove it. It's pretty much part of her.
Yeah, that fucking bucket though, that bothers me. I don't know. It's just like the same goddamn bucket, like the exact same bucket.
Maybe it's a changeling thing.
Yeah, I mean,
No, but
maybe that bucket.
You're born and you're issued a bucket.
Well, maybe
You're issued a Bajoran bucket.
When you go around, when you hang out with the solids, it's your kit. So when you go on a mission, you hang out with the solids, you issued a bucket.
Yeah,
maybe the shape of that bucket really was like has some benefit to the changeling thing. I mean, you never know. Maybe there's a reason they need that shape.
Honestly, that'd be like all of us. You know, we're born and live in different countries, but we're issued the same Chinese toilet to go camping with, right? Here's your Chinese honey bucket. Good luck. That would not make fucking sense.
I mean,
It's like this bucket.
I mean, our beds across the world are all pretty much the same, man.
Yes.
No, they are.
Renee was
It's like Renee.
Put up the bucket back to the Great Lake and the made copies.
Yeah, once I get back to the Great Lake, here's my Chinese honey bucket. Thanks very much. Like, I don't know.
I love the end of the scene where Seven's like, "Oh, I gotta go find the bucket." And I was like, "Yeah, good work, Captain." And he's like, "Yeah, whatever."
Whatever.
He's just drug fucked.
Yeah. When he's stoned,
Clearly, language has gotten more relaxed in the Federation since
the bucket hit.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, especially with the dick and the dipshit and whatever.
Yeah,
I really what
the guy who was in the little insert picture there. Yeah.
I mean, didn't Picard drop an F-bomb?
Okay, Eric.
Like,
we're gonna get to that.
we'll get to it.
Yeah,
But
we
I think that someone will edit out that bucket and they'll put a KFC bucket in there.
Oh, don't make me do it. I will do that.
That would be funny.
So now we go back to the Shriek with Vatic. So she's outside the nebula, and she decides to cut her hand off. So we immediately identify that she's some form of changeling.
Yeah.
And this is some kind of... Yeah, she's a changeling, and she's using part of her anatomy to connect to not the Great Link, but obviously the sublink.
Yeah, the offshoot sec there.
Yeah. So this is maybe
the takeaway was she was a changeling. Like I was so confused because like it was like I thought, because that's what I expected was her to be a changeling. It's like she's kind of was, but not really. It's weird.
Yeah, she's Canadian.
She cuts off a part of anatomy, which because you could use a piece of your being a changeling to connect to the link. Because remember Odo and the female changeling, that when they just touch a little bit, they would be almost connected to the link, and that's where we would have those scenes where they had their arms linked. So it makes sense. So yeah, she cuts off a part thing and uses this bowl or whatever to connect to the sublink. Call it the sublink.
This is creepy, weird, and wonderful at the same time. The way they did it. Like,
it was pretty cool. It was like, because it's only one piece that's kind of just being a skull and then morphing it the whole time. And he's like, I don't give a fuck about you. You're dispensable. You can just blow up and just get me bloody Crusher. I don't care.
Yep.
And
yeah,
she's
but again, that's
yes, sir.
That's the whole thing of the link, is that the mission is more important than the individual.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas
she
Starfleet,
goes, well, I can't go in there because the
portal
gravitational things whack my Daystrom Institute.
I like how the advertising on it.
Yeah.
No, that's actually pretty damn cool.
Yep, Daystrom Institute of Advanced Robotics. And it also makes this shit not OP now. Not
the whole
overpowered.
portal weapon?
Yeah, this is the portal weapon. I threw it out.
So you just had to eject the portal weapon.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, so that's a plus for the Titan.
Yeah, exactly. So now this ship isn't OP'd as much as what it was because the portal weapon was kind of, how the hell do you defense against that? Except I did have a thought in episode 3 when they fired everything we've got and fired the 4 torpedoes. It's like, when they came back towards it, why don't you just disarm them? Because you can disarm them from the bridge.
Yeah.
It's like, shit, disarm.
I thought of something else though, Ken, when that all happened. A good friend of ours video, Defense Against Man Sitting in a Chair.
Yeah, true. True. So then, we get the confrontation between Seven and the Changeling, who's the officer behind her.
He shoots his goo bucket.
He shoots the goo bucket.
Okay, so I don't understand why they felt the need to update the CGI this way. Because remember in DS9, the changes all kind of look like this shiny metallic goo. And now it looks like.
Yeah, but don't forget,
It makes sense. This kind of makes sense. Because if you were trying to be a seller,
you've got to remember when they're away from the Great Link for too long, they start down.
Yeah.
Odo had been away from the Great Link for like 200 plus years.
Yeah.
This thing's been away from the Great Link for 20 plus.
Odo had never been part of the Great Link.
Yeah, he was. He was sent off as a baby, but he still. I assume they birthed him from the link.
Yeah,
right?
Terminator 3.
Yeah, but
True.
he never joined with the link because he was too young.
This just
you'd have to
looks
think of
like
the technology
something
back in Deep Space Nine. They didn't really have this kind of tech. But yeah, it's
fair
kind of
enough,
like
given that,
this
but
is
it's
kind
like,
of.
Why did we
It's
have to
weird,
go?
gooey.
Why did we have to go from them looking like shiny metallic goo to steakhouse?
Yeah,
stone?
I
was just going to say, it looks like a beef tartare on the move.
Yeah.
I did not like this at all. I was like, wait a minute, we already have the clear definition of what a changeling looks like when they turn to goo. We didn't need to change.
It's a giant.
Good day.
Hey, Top Dog. I believe I'm not
Top
getting
Dog.
whiskey.
Cheers, mate.
Whiskey nose on the iPad. Nice.
Okay, Top Dog.
It's like I get that they have access to better effects now, but did they need to make the changelings look that disgusting?
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
put some cornichons, some onions in there, some hot sauce.
I mean, it just looks like the awful bucket at a.
That looks like hot sauce got poured on like chicken fat.
I
Yeah.
mean, I've seen worse things at McDonald's, so or at a Tim
Yeah,
Hortons
well,
bathroom.
yeah.
That shouldn't be the standard we're holding. Start.
I'm kidding.
It's the
And then
McDonald's
we get
version of
another.
the Wagyu.
So then we get another thing backwards and forwards, and then we get the F-bomb.
10 fucking ruling hours.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Every single person I've seen talk about this episode said this was completely unnecessary, and I have to.
It was. It was just so out of place.
yeah, it was just like, wait, did he just swear?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, and now that's just
Hey,
swearing.
here's the interesting part. Here's the interesting part that you might not have heard. Patrick Stewart ad-libbed this, and they left.
Really?
him. Yep. This was an ad-lib.
Because I was gonna say the only way that you could explain this in character be that Picard is what 85 now.
No, it's like 104 or something like that.
Really?
Yeah, some
They've
age
just had
up there.
they've just had 3 Jamisons. He's pissed.
Yeah. I mean,
The point I was trying to make was he's like 80 or 90 something years old. He may not have the filter that he had, when he was captain of the Enterprise. So maybe he's
Well, and also he's talking
to
to
filter himself.
He's also
Well-
talking to his degenerate son, who he's trying to.
Yeah, but
You listen here. You
He's-
can drink wine and like it, fuckhead.
Yeah. No, he.
here's something else for you. Here's something else for you. Where were they coming back from? They were coming back from trying to get laid. Well,
That's
maybe
true.
they
I
weren't
was just going to say.
alone.
Yeah,
Maybe
true.
they weren't alone on the shuttle, and the 10 fucking grueling hours was some other way.
No, because they were heading there and they didn't get to go there. So maybe it's like, oh shit, I didn't get laid and we were stuck there for 10. But it's still way out of
Right, you
place.
take this corner, take that corner. Don't look
It
at me.
is. I mean, getting laid, Jameson. You're gonna swear. I'm just gonna
It's,
put it out there.
It's
Yeah,
Donald
true.
college years.
Yeah, it's
I'm
just.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I kid.
And maybe on the top of that, he doesn't give a shit anymore. He's about to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
You
it
have to
was
remember,
out
this is an overarching arc. They're about to die.
No, it was out of place, but I mean, take it from experience.
Yeah,
Well,
it was,
that- Jameson leads to swearing.
But then this is the second ball. This is only the second ball.
Also, by the way, they just switched positions. Like now, Jack's over there pouring for Picard.
Yeah, they did. He
Yeah.
actually walked behind the bar because he went looking for other stuff.
He did walk behind. Yep. And not only that, he's not going to get drunk because he's got a positronic brain, so it wouldn't affect him.
That's true, actually. Well,
I don't know how good the positronic brains are. Maybe they allow alcohol poisoning.
yeah, maybe. Yeah. I mean, if you're drinking JMO like that, you're going to swear.
It's all in
It's
large.
just natural.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
conclusion.
immortal.
Yeah,
for sure.
the fact that I keep having to pause and remember that Picard is basically Data in this series.
Well,
Kind of.
you've got to
Yeah.
know that they haven't taken their inoculation of potato before drinking Jamesons.
Inoculation of potato.
So yeah, they're in there, and then a bunch of cadets
It's got
come in.
awkward
And,
as hell.
yep, you're welcome. Which kind of makes sense with what he said before with the power supply, and you use the holodeck. You know, you're about to cark it. But then someone else on a who reviewed it said, "Why would you want to be in a dingy bar? Wouldn't you want to be on a beach somewhere watching the sunset or something? You know."
Ben,
That or they're all hero worshipping.
I mean, it depends. You know,
Yeah.
You got to
consider
remember
that, you know,
when they walked in, Picard said, "This place has special sentiment for me."
Meaning to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Well, I mean, let's just face it. If you're gonna die, a dive bar isn't the worst place to die in, or the worst way to go.
No.
I totally agree. I mean, I'd be pouring top shelf whiskey, smoking a cigar, kicking back, maybe a few Sheilas around my arm, and kiss the ass goodbye.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, if it was James T.
Oh, yeah.
Kirk, he'd have the bar, he'd have everything else, but then he'd have the little pole dancing girls. over
You're
in the
right,
corner.
Real-
Of course you're gonna have that. Yep, you're like computer. Pole dancers. 5 off.
Computer.
Or-
program Kirk Orion 3.
Yeah, see that's Next Generation where they said pole dancers, and Picard it just be computer whores.
I'll pay
You don't
that.
drop two bombs. You're just like, computer, I need whores now.
That's it. Yeah.
No,
Ladies and
the
gentlemen,
Picard's
Shaw
little-
pops in and he says, your mum wiped me out on some really good drugs. And then we get this great scene where he's
It's got on
explaining.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This was
Actually-
probably
Battle
this
Wall
is
259.
probably my favorite scene.
10.
And we're back to lazy language.
Yeah.
The Green
It
Monkey
sort
Rebellion.
of gives you a. It really
Yeah, but he's
does
high
give
on
you a-
drugs.
Well, it's just the fact that they
He's
use
high on drugs.
Grease Monkey.
And there is a payoff. There is a payoff at the end. And it's like, why me? Why did the lieutenant pick me? There's only 10
Just
seats.
some dipshit
I'm
from
just some
Chicago.
shit from Chicago.
That's
And
it.
the funny thing is, Todd Shashwick is actually from Chicago.
Yeah.
So again, Terry Masalis really knows Todd and played
But
on
I
that.
like- I like when he walked into the bar though, and he goes, Dr. Crusher is very liberal with those pain meds.
Hey, your mother was very liberal with those pain meds.
Pain meds, yeah.
He's fucking awful.
If you watch any of the interviews with Todd Shashwick, like his mannerisms with his hand and what he does here, when he has his finger, right? That is Todd. This is all Todd. This is so Todd. Because when you watch it, when he's talking,
Yeah, this was a brilliant.
But
I
he's
have to
flipping them off.
admit,
He's flipping them off.
he's flipping them off,
I
and
didn't catch that.
yeah,
He's doing a
And-
special call to Mike Stall, the number one. Mike, number one.
yeah. This
I
was
love this
probably
bit.
the best.
G'day, Marshall.
Hey, Marshall.
Yeah, this is the best bit when he's like, "I gave you a name."
You
Good
were
day.
so deadly. Yeah,
Rough
the only
spirits.
board deadly enough. They gave
Please,
him a
mate.
goddamn name.
Then name. Yep.
Yeah.
A little
I
over the
did
top,
talk
but
about this
I enjoyed it. It was like, again, I think the whole the whole Acutus thing, like, I feel like it's just been overdone in the series.
A little bit, but
That-
I mean,
It was very interesting
what I was
with
gonna
the
say.
interview with Todd, and he was saying about this because he's got huge survivor's regret. Like,
Yeah.
it's really messing with him. And he had a whole pile of veterans who've served who were in the military, and they actually said this was really, really meaningful because, you know, I have that kind of survivor's regret that I survived and my comrades didn't. So it's
Yep.
really impactful, and it really makes his character, like, you understand where he's coming from with Picard.
Yeah, it brings a lot of his dickishness really to the forefront.
Well,
why he is.
they humanized him
Why-
in this episode.
Yes, he was
Yeah,
give his
he
character some depth.
Why he is a dick to Picard from the moment they come on
Yes.
the bridge.
Now,
yeah, and it's kind of like, you know, this is what you know, you think Captain Sisko would want to say to Picard, but couldn't.
Yeah.
In
Yep.
the first episode of DS9.
if I could get a
And
word,
everything because he lost his
That would
wife.
be, that would
I
be
mean, that's
Commander
pretty good.
Cisco, Donald. Commander Cisco.
Yeah, Commander Sisko, whatever.
Yeah, Commander
you
Cisco.
know,
yeah.
on the one hand, I like this. I like that they gave his character some actual depth and, you know, growth. So now we understand why he's the way he is. But on the other hand, did you really need to retread Cisco? Really? That's all you could come up. You could cough up.
But you think about it. There's 11,000 dead. How many people were fighting in the Battle of Wall 359? There's going to be heaps of people. That
Yeah, true.
have been-
It's like,
Yeah,
really,
I mean,
you have to retread this
like-
again.
This is Pearl
Well,
Harbor.
I think the point that they're trying to get through is that, I mean, Picard is this incredibly impactful human being who's
Yes.
impacted the lives of billions, if not trillions, of life forms.
And not only that, everyone puts Picard up on such a huge pedestal because he saved the universe so many times. But then he's got this dark side where he was the Locutus of Borg and killed 11,000 people.
Yep.
We're like a
Absolutely.
equivalent to Pearl Harbor. It's like a
Yeah.
huge thing.
11,000 people seems really low given how violent and destructive that was. I can't believe it's such a small number, honestly.
I was quite surprised with that too. You know, the amount of ships that got hit. And
Like I would have thought if they said
Yeah,
100
but
of
you've got to remember a lot of those
Yeah.
ships weren't operating on full crew.
Well, but even so, I mean, there were hundreds
Oh,
of
that's
ships lost. I mean, it was. I mean, they devastated the
Yeah.
Starfleet's
Yeah,
war machine effectively.
pretty much.
Like, I would have thought it would have been in the hundreds, if not, or hundreds of thousands.
No, because it was only half the fleet that went.
Yeah, but they
Well,
took out most. I mean, half the fleet's a huge number of ships.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
You consider a lot of those ships were smaller ships, so they
But
probably pulled out a
they
mothball.
still had a lot of ships when they bugged off out because they knew they were
True.
getting their ass kicked.
There's quite a few Galaxy class ships in that battle too.
But you got to remember, the Federation is an organization of multiple races. I mean, there's billions of people on the planet Earth. There's got to be trillions of people as part of the Federation by that point.
Yeah, most of the other
Yeah.
species want nothing to
Yeah.
do with the Borg. They're like, nope, you're on your own.
Can you blame them? So another interesting about this, when Jonathan was directing this scene and Todd was acting this out, and Picard was in there as well, so he was playing off Picard, and he said that the emotional feedback that Picard was giving him while he was doing this, and when when Jonathan was saying, okay, you need to give this a bit more energy or cut back on this, they wouldn't just do that one segment, they would do the whole scene again. So he got to play this over and over, the whole scene, and then they were able to cut bits that they did in the edit. It's interesting. Kind of like Udby, they made Corey Beckham, but they also had motion imitation. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the acting here was pretty solid. It really was.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's such a great thing to show, great acting and great story written with great emotional character development. It's great. It's not just flashy pew pew and some mystery box fucking thing every 5 seconds. And then he tells him you, and he's like, when Jack comes in, hey, well, hold on a minute, and Riker's like, no, I understand, and then just walks off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this scene felt a little bit forced. I mean, that's the one thing that this episode kind of shows. They're still trying to kind of force some of this stuff through, but I think they're getting there. They're doing it effectively, but it is a little forced. It feels like there were multiple writers.
You're always going to get that, especially in an emotional kind of a thing like this. It's always going to feel a little bit forced.
Well, but I feel like it feels like there's too many writers. Then, like, one of the writers had this brilliant idea, and then the other writer had to figure out how to make it happen. It's like,
well, it's a combination of writers and directors. I mean, not producers. So many people's. Not so much on this series. There's not that many.
So here's something that bothered me a little bit, and it's so small and so stupid, but I'm the fire prevention officer at work as well, too. Those exit signs are being phased out for the green pictogram. You'd think they would have got that in the 25th century, for Christ's sake.
Right? But
not only that should be a green sign, and it should be above the door. Here in Australia, they're green and they're above the door.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
This is
international standard.
This is a computer.
80s bar. This felt like a 1980s
But it
bar.
is in red alert though.
No, but still. Anyway, it was just something I was like, why do they have an old school exit sign? It's the 25th century.
But it's not a 25th century bar, man. It's
It's Guinan's bar. It's a 25th.
That is not Guinan's bar.
It is. And forward,
The whole thing is a movie. That's why a lot of people said this is the TNG movie we should have got. This is a 10-episode movie. This is not a show. I mean, it's shot, it's directed, it's edited as a movie. Even the writing, it's not an episodic TV show.
I mean, that's the part that we all have to accept, is the fact that this is a movie, which means it's not a TV series. It's going to be lower quality.
I will say,
as we know today, movies are basically garbage.
I will say, I love the fact that they put Terry Metallis's name in the bar next to the door.
Yes.
Yes.
But is this not Guinan's bar from like Earth, where?
Yes, it is 10 forward.
Yeah,
10 forward.
Which makes no sense, because 10 forward is a position on the 10th deck forward of the ship, which makes no sense. But anyway.
Yeah, but I mean, she called her bar 10 forward, and rightly so.
And because she was on 10th and 4th Street, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I know. Feeding the geese.
But again, this is a bar from this era, not from the future. That's the whole point. Is that
retro? No, but 10 forward is from the 25th century.
Yeah.
Well, this is not the 10 forward from the Enterprise, man.
No, I'm saying her bar in Los Angeles is from the 25th century. So
yeah, because at the beginning of 5 years ago, he's in the bar. And you've obviously got that in episode 2. I mean, season 2.
Yeah, and that's why that exit sign kind of chafed me, and I'm like,
yeah, why would you have that? That is true.
Because, you've got to remember that when they went back in time, Guinan was in Los Angeles in the 80s.
She was, but
Yeah.
it's the 25th century. Get the goddamn exit sign right.
Yeah, but this is a 1980s bar. Like they're in a 1980s
But it's
bar.
Anyway,
as I said, Donald, they're in red alert, so the sign's got to be red.
just minor, just minor
I
things.
didn't notice that, but now you pointed it out. I can't stop looking at it. It's like, why is that fucking red, and why is it above there? Why is this in the 25th century? It's like, what?
Yeah, no,
But again,
I
they're in a
noticed
1980s bar. This is the 80s.
I noticed it, and I'm like, oh, whoa.
I just
this is
like
just such a small thing to get irritated over, but I was so irritated by it. Like,
I love this bit at the end. This is so good. This shows. This is great.
yeah,
He realized he overdid it.
Paul became a substitute for Picard.
Yeah,
He's self-conscious. He has enough self-conscious to realize, okay, that was bad. I'm being an asshole.
yeah.
Like, yep, I'm drug fucked.
I'm
Well,
drug
I mean,
fucked
again,
and-
I mean, this guy became a captain. We gotta like remember this. I mean, this guy is a captain. Like he didn't get there by mistake. The Federation is still
No, and he's
No, but that doesn't mean-
he's served for a long time. He was a grease monkey, and he has served a lot of missions on the Titan before the refit. He's been around. He's no just walking. He's an actual.
No,
legit
but
stuff.
being a captain and being an asshole are not mutually exclusive. See Preston and Angelico.
That's true. Yeah.
Who hasn't said that after drinking a few too many? Well, that is true, and he hasn't drunken anything. He's just whacked out on Beverly's drugs.
Back out of 10 minutes.
And he's suffering from PTSD.
Well, that is
Yeah.
but
He's
I think-
basically reliving everything with Picard being there. And then when Picard goes, oh, I understand, because Picard's there with as soon as he started talking about it and mentioned War 379, you could see Picard's face got changed because he's gone into his PTSD of reliving everything that he did as a ball.
yeah,
Yeah, you think about Picard. He had no control, and he caused all this death
Yeah.
and devastation.
Yeah.
So
Well,
he
I
has to
think-
live with that his whole entire life, and we've seen that in the movies where he has to relive it. You know.
to be fair, I think Steppenwolf said it the best. God damn the pusher, man, because when you're under the influence of drugs, who knows what the hell you're going to say or do. Like, just,
Totally.
yeah.
Totally. And like Eric said, who hasn't said that after a few? I mean, alcohol is a drug.
Alcohol
I think they're
or
really good
painkillers, whatever.
Anything. Yep.
Yep.
They've done an incredible job of, I think, kind of explaining why this captain, was such a oddly dickish person to start off with.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think it, basically he went to protocol, and now mind you, the whole like Seven being forced to change your name kind of thing was a little bit of like that's his core goat default. But like, it just kind of shows that like when he gets pressured, he goes to rules, regulations, tradition, because that's his.
Well, we saw it in the last episode straight up. As soon as he realized that Jack was Picard's son, he was like, bang, straight into action.
Yeah, and you see that he's like, "Oh, your son, we got it. We fight."
Yeah.
It's like, there's a human here, and like at first we didn't get it because it felt like, oh, really, this guy's just like some Federation drone. But now we're seeing that the reason he goes to that drone idea is that's just his coping mechanism for this whole Borg thing.
Well, as I said, he's just a dipshit from Chicago.
Yep.
Some dipshit from Chicago.
Yeah. I'll be back in a moment. I'm being eyed from across the room, which means the evil overlord has an empty bowl.
You might evil overlord.
Yeah, Donald. Some guys have women. You've got a cat.
I have an evil overlord. Yes.
Then Beverly comes up with the idea, wait a minute, this is an organism, and these are contractions, and it's going to give birth, and these waves are really generating a lot of things and going to destroy the ship, blah, blah, blah. And then they come up with this idea, wait a minute, we can ride these waves, use the energy.
I am not loving Beverly's character. I hate to say that, but she's.
I've never been like nothing against Gates McFadden, but I've never been a fan of Beverly Crusher character.
Boo.
I don't think she's a very good actress. Just in general, I don't think she's bad, but I don't think she's good. And this season is not changing my view of her acting. Is just it's poor, and then I think the character's poor, and I think the combination just sucks. But
what's up, Jim?
This is a bit of an homage towards Jar Jar Abrams.
Jar Jar Abrams. Yeah, sorry. Might have a soft spot for
where they basically ride the wave up the shockwave from blowing up the warp core and the Enterprise in the remake.
Yeah. Oh, the 2009 movie. Yeah.
I can honestly say I have not watched any. I watched the first movie they did, and I haven't watched anything since because they were. It was so ass.
No, you're not missing nothing. You're not missing nothing.
Ugh.
So we'll wait to.
They're trying to make Star Trek into Star Wars, and I have no interest in that.
Zachary Quinto.
He was fine. He was fine as fuck.
It was alright, except for the way they portrayed him. But anyway,
I mean, really, the 2009 movie was. If you're looking for a platform to springboard off of, that was fine. What they springboarded off to from there was hot garbage.
I agree. That was like, okay, it wasn't the greatest movie in the world, but it was a great slingshot platform, like you say, to redo Star Trek. Like they did Battlestar Galactica. You could do a whole new Star Trek.
Yep.
I don't understand, and now I'm deviating from this episode, but I don't understand why they always want to go back to the original generation for Star Trek, because I don't think the younger audience knows anything about Kirk and Spock. They're more likely to know Data and Picard.
Yeah. We've got people brought up, they only know, they don't even know Picard. We've got kids these days that only know Discovery. They don't know actual stuff.
Well, nobody knows Discovery. There's like 4 viewers on that damn thing.
God, but that's the only Star Trek they know of. They've been brought up with it, and some.
I feel like young people are more likely next generation they are to know the original series. I know Spock has been continued, so I mean they probably know who Spock is, but I feel like the next generation would have been the series to do the spinoff for. And the fact that they're going back to the original just shocks me because I just think it's a smaller audience. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I think that's the beauty of
on top of all that, it should not be a prequel. Star Trek is about the future. It should be in the future. It should be something to look forward to, not look back at.
Yeah, and the thing is, they left us with so much potential. They could, if they don't want to go to the future, they could just go back to the next generation universe. There's so much there. They could go for all the stuff they got.
The Rick Berman era is definitely but that's the thing. Like this is just after the Rick Berman era. Why can't you just go with this?
Well, and that's what they should have done. I mean, was it Next Generation's only about it's not even 100 years past the original, right? It's just short of 100 years later, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, which makes perfect sense. They should just, and that's the perfect next thing is to go 100 years past that, and at that point you have so much more liberty with not messing up with the continuity of the world, and you could even
it's Star Trek. It's all new.
Yeah, and you could even break some continuity by we have better knowledge now. Okay. Oh, okay, cool. Now the rules of the past got morphed. Yeah,
we've seen it in this show where you don't need to tell engineering that we're going to warp 9 because it's all automated now. Simple things like that.
Yeah. Yep. 9.9.
Yeah, 9.
Whatever. Yeah.
I want to see a movie in which the Klingons are the heroes and kicking ass the entire time. Well, Michael Dorn has always said he wants to. From the Klingons, and wouldn't we just love to see that?
That needs to happen.
Oh, it'd be so good.
Yeah, it does.
Well, And you know, I mean, I think
I don't think it's ever going to happen because it's too niche. It's not going to appeal to. But we'd all froth over it. It would be brilliant to see. Like my favorite episodes are all the Klingon-based ones on Deep Space.
No. I disagree emphatically because I think the Klingons speak to the non-Star Trek geek more than anything. You could have a war movie with the Klingons involved, and people wouldn't even need to know it's Star Trek. Like I mean, if you had
okay.
Or you could go back in time. Again, the Klingons are like an untold story in a lot of ways. They could go back to make a sci-fi.
Oh, that's what Axanar would have been. That's what Axanar was going to be.
Like they could literally do a Braveheart with the Klingons, and that'd be a fucking badass movie, dude.
They may take our lives, but they will never take our freedom.
Yeah, but
no, they take our lives, but they'll never take our honor.
Yeah. They can kill our children, but they'll never take our honor.
Exactly. To Stovacor.
Yeah, I mean, you
can instead of for Scotland, it's to Stovacor for the Empire.
Yeah, for the Empire, and then they all lift their kilts and moon everybody.
But yeah, I mean, there's
right, I love this great backwards and forwards. I love this little homage back to Farpoint. Life forms that thrive in the vacuum of space that Beverly's talking about. These are organisms, blah blah blah. And then Picard goes, Farpoint, straight up. And it was like And then Riker's like, no, we're not going to die. We should just, send messages and try and leave something behind. Hopefully the ship will survive and we'll leave something behind. He's like, because he's still looking into the abyss of death, so he hasn't woken up yet.
Yeah, and
then Debbie's like,
we're
wait
not
a minute,
going to be rescued.
We spent our entire lives something to be, learn to be great at. Let's just fucking do it.
Yep.
Let's be Starfleet. The villain in the movie would be the Tribbles. Yeah, we could do the whole war against the Tribbles.
That would be amazing.
Sort of have a what's his name from Lower Decks sort of feel the young ensign who's always
Ensign Boimler.
Yeah,
Boimler.
Yeah.
She's done a Boimler sort of thing. Let's go. We're Starfleet. We're wonderful.
That's it. She's done a Boimler. Yep.
Yeah,
we're Starfleet.
Actually,
Wait,
good
let's
point.
do it. Yep, it's a Boimler. Nice pickup. I like that.
Yeah.
And again, we get to see this great table. I want this table. I just love it. And also, why was it so fucking dark?
Life support was turned off. Remember?
We know the ship is fucked, but come on. You've got the whole bloody. You got all this lit up. You got all this lit up. We wouldn't have all this shit turned off. But anyway.
And
it's so weird to like the fact that they had better lighting in the bar than they have like when they're actually working.
Yeah, look at it. The bar is really nice. Yeah, it's kind of nice, moody, like you say, 80s bar, and then you come in there and it's like dark as fuck. But anyway, it makes sense in this episode. But
well, I mean, it's all LED, so it takes like bugger all power, I'm sure.
So,
yeah, exactly.
It's just
and the LEDs are fucking bright.
And again, people keep talking about like movies and stuff, but guys, they don't make movies anymore for a reason. Like movies are dead because they suck. Like we have moved into the world where TV is supposed to drive. It is a better medium. We're seeing.
I did see a great picture earlier. That this is Riker because he's got the Riker position, and there's a great picture there that has like the first season of TNG, and you got Riker leaning across, and then you got Lower Decks when he's in there and he's leaning across. You've got the movies where he's leaning across, and now he's still leaning across. It's like, yep, this is Riker.
Yep.
I gotta say, Riker's got to be I don't even know his real name, which I think speaks to
Jonathan
the fact that he's a terrible actor. Like,
really? Nah, man. Everybody, I have to agree. Everybody who's been watching this is saying, no, Jonathan Frakes has been fucking brilliant in this. On top of that, Jonathan Frakes is directing this fucking episode as well as acting.
You know what? The thing is, he became a much better director than he ever was an actor. He's actually a pretty good director. But he's
he's been brilliant. He's been brilliant in this.
Yeah, I
His
agree with
character
Ken.
arc is-
well,
yeah.
but
He's been
I think
absolutely
this is the best he's been as an actor. I agree with that statement, but like it just really kind of goes to show that like he's just maybe a bad's the wrong word. He's a limited actor.
Did our chief engineer kind of nod off?
I
we
think
lost
our
our chief
engineer has had too much of Beverly Crusher's opioids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He should be drinking this peanut butter cup stout that I'm drinking. It would wake him right up. It's not very good, to be honest with you, but
JMO on ice will do the trick.
JMO will definitely do the trick.
I never thought we'd have a passed out snoring. You got to mute him too, Ken.
Yeah.
Just taking him off the screen doesn't fix the issue.
It sounds like a tog.
Not my target.
Oh man.
Oh boy.
But you know, I mean, even here, like, I think they failed in the first early on to like make his character, like the whole morning of his kid dying. I think they told us that was what was happening, but I don't know that the acting followed that. And I think this episode we finally.
No, I disagree. Right at the beginning, where he's talking about looking into the.
Well, no. Again, what I said, Ken, is this episode. I think really
Kind of wrapped it up.
I think the acting finally catches up. Early episodes, I think.
No.
They did a
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm with you.
You've also
this,
got to.
this episode has been
You've
freaking flawless. Like they've all of the
brilliant.
mistakes and like errors they made in the first 3 episodes, they fixed in this goddamn episode. It's fucking amazing. The fact they fixed Captain Dick. Like all of a sudden now he seems like an actual character. Riker, like I knew they were trying to portray him as broken from his son dying, but they did a shitty job doing it. This episode fixed it.
Yeah.
No, I disagree with that because it's sort of like he was broken, and that's why he portrayed a broken man, which was sort of all over the place.
Yeah.
But he was he became more broken when he killed another ship.
Well, but again, like I mean, the last episode,
basically, God damn it, that's 5 ships are blowing up.
Yeah, I can't win.
because I mean, the whole Picard Riker thing in the last episode, it was just so poorly done. Like it was just so poorly done. And like this episode, they bring it back.
That's
and
why I
they
reckon
did it better. Go ahead.
That's why I think they make Picard get into the captain's chair to fly out because he's there going, I'm not doing it because all I'm going to do is blow the fucking shit up.
Well, we're just about to get into that.
Yeah, well, but so
now that Riker's woken up, he's like, "Yeah, let's be Starfleet. Let's just give it a last hurrah. We died. But this weekend."
I can't remember. Are we going to go back? Is there more screenshots of Picard and Jack talking, or are we done with that? I can't remember.
There's more. There's more.
Okay, yeah. So when we get to the more part, I'll bring this point up so we can move forward.
Yeah. So this was great. I realised that the last person you want to see right now, but I need your help, despite the fact that you are indeed a dipshit from Chicago. And he's like, nice. Yep, nice. I just love. Yeah, Liam just goes. Nice. I deserve
like
that.
Because you really, I think it's
that.
the first time. I think it's the first time Captain Dick is realizing that Picard's a human, like a person, whereas before he was like this mythos. You know, his mythological character in his head.
No,
you're a person.
He was basically looking. He was looking at him as being still part Borg.
Well, not just part Borg, but also he was the legend of Picard. I mean, he's this like legendary.
No, he doesn't care about that at all because all the way through it, he has disdain for him. He doesn't give a fuck about him being a legend. But all that he's got is, I'm looking at you as you are a freaking Borg, and
that's because he's a legend. Because a lot of us do that. Like we see somebody as a legend, and so we don't see them as a person.
Yeah.
No, but he's not seeing him as the legend. He's seeing him as
some ex-Borg and a reckless,
Yeah.
That idiot that
But
goes
as
around blowing shit
Yeah.
up. And
but as an ex-Borg, he's still that's still the legend. I mean, he didn't meet him as a Borg. He was, again, as he
No,
pointed out.
because he's not the legend. The legend does not acknowledge the fact that he was assimilated into the Borg.
No. The
And his
legend.
legendary status was so
No, the
big that he didn't even go to the room when he was having dinner.
No. The legend of Picard at this point is he was a Borg. He's this great admiral. Like, it's not one thing. It's all of it. Like, you can't
No,
say
but
legend.
they,
And so
they always ignore the fact that he was a Borg. It's the fact that he came back and he saved the universe again, and basically that's what he's remembered for, is saving the universes. He's not. They never look at, and that's the thing with any legend. Legends are always looked upon about their good points. Their bad points are always brushed away and always forgotten.
no, but as we just discussed, Sisko saw him as the Borg at first. I mean, this is not a new trope. Like, Picard.
No, that's right. But
Picard's legend
basically
is
what
both
they-
good and bad. You can't separate him being a Borg has been put into the Star Trek mythos as part of the
yeah,
legend.
but that's what makes Picard different things to different people. He's not, to some people like the cadets, it's, oh, you're a legend. Everything. Oh, you know, your book said.
I mean, it's like if you talk about Churchill. If you talk about Churchill, Churchill's this great legend, but he was also, when he was the leader of the Admiralty in World War One, he was a dick.
oh
He
yeah,
sucked.
he fucked up royally. Yeah, he failed.
Yeah, he fucked up royally. He was kicked out in the Battle of the Dardanelles, which caused Gallipoli and that disaster.
I was literally going to say Picard's like Churchill.
No, but that kind of legendary status, we always think of him in World War II as the great legend.
Yeah. And so I think the point that's getting made here is that Picard's contemporaries remember the flawed character, and the kids, see the mythological character. But
I totally get that. Yeah, because if you were in the Second World War, you might, and you served in the First World War or were experiencing that, you would remember Churchill as a dick. But post World War II, you remember Churchill as a legend.
But I think it's the mythos.
The people who served with Picard have him in high regard.
Yeah,
because Riker and everyone else, even though he was a Borg, he came back. He's held in universal high regard.
Well, because they knew him before.
Who were impacted personally by what he did as a Borg, who have never served with him again since or had anything to do with him, and they've just carried that thing. And that's where Sisko, basically, the Band-Aid was torn for Sisko pretty quick, because he went through what he did, and 1 year later he's having to face Picard and then work with Picard to get Deep Space Nine up and running.
Yeah, but but also the reality is, Picard is an incredible person to where if you meet him, he's going to change you. Although I got to say, I'm noticing in this series, it seems like he did absolute dick as an admiral. Like, it seems like
we don't really get much of his backstory as being an admiral. That is true.
Well, it seems like
most admirals. But most admirals don't.
Admiral.
Most admirals don't do shit. They're not out on the front line. They're back in Starfleet Command, basically telling the captains what to do. So you're not really raising.
Yeah, but you got to remember, he became an admiral in probably the most tumultuous time of the Federation. I mean, we're talking post-Dominion War. The Romulan stuff that happened in the movies. Like, if there was ever a time for an admiral to shine, it was that era.
We've never got that backstory. We only know we haven't never got any of that backstory. We only know him as a retired admiral.
Well, but my point is though, like, it hasn't. It would have come up in the series if there was if there were truly like epic moments.
Yeah, but there was some things where just after Deep Space, after TNG finished, when Beverly Crusher's doing the whole history of why she didn't tell him.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
He goes through a hell of a lot of different things which he was involved with.
Yeah, but it just seems like
and the same in this when he was in the bar when he's talking to the cadets about the Hirogen and Worf made the trap and all that stuff. That was post. Yeah.
Yeah. Again, I think that the message is that he's famous for being a captain. He, as an admiral, he kind of. I'm not saying he was a bad one. I'm just saying he wasn't very.
Most admirals are not famous.
No, you're right. My point is that he was.
Unless your name is Nelson.
Admiral.
At that stage, you become a bureaucrat because you're basically the person who sits and makes policy. You're not the implementer of policy. So you're not the person out there.
Again, it's not like they talked about the Picard policy or the Picard rule or the Picard law. It's like that would be
the Picard maneuver.
Because, exactly.
we get to see the Picard maneuver soon. I thought as an admiral he was running Starfleet Academy. He was involved with Starfleet Academy.
Yeah, he did run Starfleet Academy for a while.
He did run Starfleet. Okay.
Yeah. But my point is, he wasn't.
We'll get back to this now. We'll get back to this.
The level of impact. That's all I'm saying. Is you didn't have the level of impact as an admiral, so his legend didn't grow. I guess is what I'm saying. He didn't grow beyond TNG.
Yeah, it's not like the days of like Admiral Nelson where you're out in the front line actually fighting and.
Well, it's not like they didn't bring in a new race in this episode. Picard was the one who negotiated, the peace. They didn't. There's none of that.
Yeah.
Oh, there is.
No, I just love this scene when you get dipships in Chicago, and then he's like, "Nice," because you threw that at me after I threw it out, and you threw it back at me. It's like I respect you for that. You threw that at me, and I had to grab this shot because I just love this Denise and Michael Acuda stuff. And when you look at that,
those sensors are so badass, and the lighting in the episode is so bad. It's so sad. Like they got so much right about the visuals, and they got so much wrong. It's so frustrating.
Yeah. I mean, the Alcars are just stunningly beautiful, and then you've got, like I said, the Dutch whorehouse lighting going on. It's like, what the hell's going on here?
I'm grabbing another beer. I'll be right back.
But at least it's not Best Little Whorehouse in Texas with Gomer Pyle and Burt Reynolds.
That's true. Although you could believe it if they all had cowboy boots.
Although Riker is acting a little bit like Gomer Pyle from.
So this is saying where he's doing a ship-wide thing, saying, we're about to do this and buckle up.
We may die. Yeah, we may die because I'm in the chair.
Yeah, I'm in the chair.
We may crash because I'm still in the chair.
Yep,
exactly.
How tall is Jonathan Frakes? He's like what, 6'2" or something? I mean, I know he's a pretty big guy.
I think so.
Yeah, he's around 6-ish. Yeah, because he powers over.
Comandante Lou.
He towers over pretty much everybody except, in fact, I think he's taller than Worf, isn't he?
No, I think Michael Dorn's pretty damn tall.
So
I think if not, they're about the same height.
Yeah, so 1.9 meters, so about 6 foot.
Yep, I thought he's about 6.
180's 6 foot, so he's about 6'3",
6'3", yeah.
Okay.
Something like that. Yep.
Nice.
Yeah, Michael Dorn.
Then Beverly is like, we got to get ready. We got to get these waves. Blah blah blah. So we got the whole speech, and he's like, "Yep, well, you can sit your ass in the chair, boy."
Okay, so Jonathan Frakes is 6'3". He's listed as 6'3".
Yeah, and I think Michael Dorn is the same height as well.
But you can see how Riker actually smiles when he goes back and sits in the number 1 seat.
Oh yeah, we get that scene. Yeah, after this when he's about to say, Ensign, blah blah blah, do this, do that, and do that, and Riker just looks over and there's a smile. And it's like, yeah, that's Picard. That's the Picard
Yeah.
last set.
No, but
I swear, man, this looks just like a fucking Scotch Down Under review where you're all blue.
Yep. Yep. That's it. That's why I changed the outcast to blue and everything. But as I was saying at the beginning, this aesthetic, the blue teal, is a real common thing that I've done in movies for years. It's the blue teal.
And it looks terrible. I don't know how else to put it. It looks terrible.
No, if the lights
Yeah.
were on, it would look great.
It's overdone. Yeah, if the lights were on, it would look good.
Making everybody look blue tinted is just not a good look, man. I'm
But
telling
it's
you.
because it's so dark. It really, it's overcooked. And I think Dave said that they've increased the saturation since they released it because people were saying it was too dark and stuff. And it's kind of interesting when you see some of the reviews where people are bringing up screenshots and they're actually a lot brighter. So yeah, I don't know whether it's what's going on.
Maybe it's just the fact that the Andorians are feeling like they can blend into the background in the group.
There you go. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
it
like
turns
you
out
should
to
be
turn the lights on.
skins. We like it nice and dark. Yeah, we'd like it nice and
Yeah,
dark.
if you turn the lights on, there's actually like 30 Andorians working on the set. You just didn't know.
Yeah. They took over.
They're
stuff.
suddenly all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait. I'm meant to be hiding here. So yeah, we get this great shot, and not only that, when he sits in the chair, when he sits in there, he immediately does the Picard maneuver.
maneuver. Yep, he does.
Yeah, he does the fucking Picard maneuver. It was brilliant. And then he does engage, and you get the TNG music in the background. I was like, oh yeah, this is good shit. Good member berry.
So I
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
Riker's sitting there going, I feel secure now because I'm no longer in control of the ship.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. It's not my fault anymore.
So I don't know. I don't know the right place to like bring this up, but
It's
I
the
think
one
we're-
person who knows how to steer a ship without sensors. And
Yep.
if it was me, I would be crashing into every asteroid or at least rubbing the paintwork. And
Yeah.
Whacking off the deflected dish and half the
I
missile.
think this is kind of the point that I realized they weren't going to do a flashback or a cut to Worf in this episode, and I was like, God, it feels so.
Oh
good
yeah,
that
that's a good point.
doesn't.
yeah, but that's,
Yeah, there was none of that. There was none of that great build up of the tempo, and then there's big drops in ECC.
And
Ralphie.
that's what kept the tempo was just constant, which made it feel like Star Trek.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because that's
it-
what ruins like the whole.
It didn't have that soulless vacuum of Raffi
Well, I mean-
sucking the life out of it.
Well, it's
So
not
that
just
means-
Ralphie sucking the life. It's the fact that they keep doing this cutscene where it's like you're watching two different episodes. Star
Well-
Trek has always been, here's an episode, here's another episode, and we'll focus on this and we'll focus on that.
Yeah, so that
Been
means
this whole-
next episode it's probably going to be all Worf and Raffi, probably.
And then
Yeah.
that's perfectly
No,
fine.
supposedly not. I mean, episode 5 and 6 are meant to be the best of the whole season.
Well, it might be awesome because maybe we got the whole Worf meets up with these guys and it'll be badass as fuck.
Let's hope that's what happens. Let's hope because
Yeah.
now they're out of the nebula, they're back into Starfleet. So we're going to see. We're going to see.
Yeah, but
Supposedly
they,
7 is kind of episode 7's a bit quieter. There's a lot more exposition, proposition, and a lot of stuff. I think it was kind of a filler type
well,
episode because
you said earlier.
when they went to Terry and said you need to do 10, he's like, I pretty much only got this written for 8, so he had to do a couple of filler inners. But they're still
I
good.
thought you said, Ken, that they the pre-release was only 6 episodes that everybody got.
Oh well, the press release was 6 to the press, but then there was after the opening, the premiere where they did the first 3, I think it was.
Okay.
There was opportunity for a bunch of the guys that had seen the 6 to actually watch the whole lot. So
Okay.
Robert Meyer Burnett has seen Robert Meyer Burnett, Dave Cullen, and the boys from the podcast, and a few other guys have seen the whole 10. But they've been saying, I wish I hadn't seen it all, because they want to be able to do, because they're doing episode each week reviews, and
Yeah.
they're trying to enjoy it as it is, but they already know the whole thing, so they kind of just like, I wish I hadn't seen it all.
Okay, fair enough.
Gotcha.
No worries, Lou. But yeah, so it's kind of interesting to have their perspective of how in certain episodes it gets better or whatever. So yeah. So then we cut to Shaw going back to his grease monkey roots, where he's got to open the cells to suck in the energy.
I have to admit, this was pretty brilliant. This whole
was awesome.
sequence. Yeah.
Yeah, this was really good. And again, Denise and Michael Cuda, I love these panels and stuff that they've got on here.
Yeah, they definitely got the aesthetic right, the Alcars, everything. Like it was, yeah.
Yeah, it's just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Love it.
Yep.
And then like he gets the first one open, which is pretty much just a bunch of fiber optic cables, but it looks pretty damn cool.
It does. Yeah.
Yep. And then you got the first one that's open, which is cool because you see it when it's closed, and then they show it again when it's open. One thing I did notice in this season, I don't know whether it was in season 1 or 2, because I didn't really watch season 1. I watched season 2, and I just wanted to poke my eyes out and stab myself in the ears. But the whole, there's no static shots in this, so whoever's the cinematography, it's all Steadicam. It's all shaky movement. Like, you really notice it when I'm taking the frames out, when you're skipping frames. The whole image is shaking around, and it's like phasing in and out of sharpness and blurriness, because it's all done with Steadicam kind of work.
Okay.
Which is good, because it puts it more in the first person sort of side of things.
It does. It makes you feel like you're on there, and I get what they're going, but it's kind of weird because we're so used to having just static shots, which is kind of cold and cool, and it's kind of disconnected. But I get with you that it does. But it some spots is just really weird. That it's.
Well, I think that goes back to the budget thing. I mean, I think that's a cheaper way to do it.
Oh, for sure. You have a few guys running around with Steadicam. Yeah. I mean, there are some closed-off shots, like when you're in the bar with Shaw and Picard. They're all closed-off shots. But, yeah. Anyway, so we get this great thing where Ensign LaForge comes in and it's like, yep, no, you ain't going to pull this shit. And she
wait, go back to that last frame, Ken. Look how well lit her face is. No, 7 and 9.
Yeah, but it's
Look at that.
Once this is the part of the episode where all of a sudden the lighting just shifts up and
but that's because there's that white light that's on. The fluoro's been turned on above the door.
Yeah.
So we got the fluoros, we got the LED lights, we got the fiber optics.
So you go to that next there. The fluoro switched on, so it's throwing light against her face. So
yeah. But my point is from just the person watching. Look, I can see faces again. It's so nice.
You can see. Yeah, I know. It's like back here. It's like she's super dark. You can't see her, and then we can see.
You're looking.
You're looking earlier on in the episode. It's like you see half a face. Like it's like, oh, I can see part of you, not the other part. It's just.
Yeah, but it's basically you're seeing backlight only, where it's front lighting.
And at least with this phaser, she hasn't got a hand in front of the guard, so she's not going to blow a finger off, so she's inside the guard.
Yeah, it's
still. This is good as she pulls this off and then says, it was 7.
Commander 7 instead of Commander Hansen. Yep.
Yep. Yeah. But one thing somebody did bring up, which I thought was interesting, when she shot her, or it didn't disintegrate into a pile of dust like they did with the Ralphie and Worf.
Yeah.
Deep Space Nine when they shot them. She just went all wobbly and had red glowy eyes and stuff, and then there was still a corpse.
Yeah, but the other one, that's because the other one was really starting to suffer from the breakaway from the link, so he was already starting to come apart.
But all changelings have always disintegrated into a big pile of dust.
Yeah.
No. Remember,
unless you had a different phaser setting or something, I don't know. But anyway, it was interesting.
Yeah.
Maybe she had it set to burn, not to smoke.
Shocking that one head Northern European shows up more in the dark than someone of African origin. Oh, shit.
Just a lack of honestly, it's just a lack of continuity, and that it is what it is.
Yeah, well, like we were talking about before with the continuity. I mean, the old reverse bottle trick, but anyway.
I mean,
the fact that
the thing is, though,
bottle
next
hasn't
generation changed the way Klingons look. I mean, we got to just accept the fact that there's going to be a little bit.
Oh no, it wasn't TNG. It wasn't TNG. It was the
changed.
first
It was,
movie.
the motion picture. Yeah.
Oh,
Motion
you're
picture.
right.
Yep.
And that was James Doohan that actually wrote the first Klingon words. James Doohan
Yep,
actually.
yeah.
And they explained that in Star Trek Enterprise in the 4th season rather brilliantly.
Well, not only that, they did it in the Trouble with Tribbles episode.
What was the episode where there's like, we don't talk about that?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that's Trouble with Tribbles.
Yeah.
They're Klingons. And Worf's like, we don't talk about that.
That was one of the greatest like scenes ever. Just like, we don't talk about that.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, love these LCAR displays. And Jack's got a job. He's got to identify the asteroids that are flying towards the ship.
Yep.
And then we get the wave, and they're flying along. And then, here comes the Shrike again. And then we get this great moment where Riker's like, okay, Trials and Tribulations, thank you. Yeah, not Trouble Tribbles, based on Trouble Tribbles.
He does what they did to the.
Yeah, so he's like, so you like throwing things around? Well, here you go, Vanek. Have an asteroid.
Like, it frustrated me, and then at the same time, it didn't bother me. But it was just like they built this character up as this super villain. We want to see more of this character. This is an incredible actress they've got for this role, and we're done. Okay, let's move on.
Yeah, I do give it, and that's where Terry was like before. He wished he could have done this in like 4 or 5 episodes with the whole thing and stretched it out a bit to get that whole Hunt for October backwards and forwards battle kind of run deep.
Know that they're done yet. The ship doesn't explode.
The first 2 episodes were
No, just get whacked. You throw an asteroid at a ship, I don't care how powerful you are, you're getting fucked.
Yeah.
I just go back to again, the first 2 episodes were so fucking slow. They could have built this up. They just wasted 2 episodes. Like episode.
No, I think the first 2 episodes had to build it up. They were the first act. They had to build. They had to establish the whole thing. It had to be established. The characters, the scene.
Well, yeah, they could have done it in 1 episode instead of 2. The first 2 episodes could have been 1 episode. And then episode 3 was fine, and then this episode could have been dragged on.
If they
And
hadn't
now
been jumping over
we get Star Trek.
Ralphie, it would have been 1 episode.
Yeah, that's true. If we got rid of Ralphie, if we got rid of her, yeah, that's a good point. All of that was unnecessary.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
It's meant to pay off.
Episode 1 and 2 were just incredibly slow in terms of what happened. Again, that could have been 1 episode. I said the same thing when episode 3 came out. I'm like, oh look, we finished the first episode. Admittedly, episode 3 there was enough meat there where it was fine the way it was, but episode 1 and 2 could have been 1 easily.
Yeah. Well,
And they could have made the battle here longer. They could have made this 2 episodes. That's it. Also, the fact that we have these smiling faces now on screen.
well, I mean, there was one.
Like
scene
there should have
with
been they should have tried like talking to these things. I don't know. Like this was just like here's Star Trek. We found a new species. All right, later. Like, come on.
Somebody did make a good comment. I think it was on the podcast that wait a minute, these may be the descendants of Encounter at Farpoint.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I heard too. Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
I love this bit. So they're all in amazement, and Beverly's being Boimler to seek out new life.
yeah.
I think we should probably get the hell out of it.
Hell out of here.
and then they just get the fuck out of here. Yeah.
That was priceless.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
No,
no,
admittedly, there was a killer enemy ship that's probably not dead that they probably need to run from. But still, it's like
Yeah, they probably still need to do it, even though they want to fall back on their roots and try and make contact and analyze these creatures and but they're like, oh shit, let's just get the hell out of here. We almost died. We got
Riker's
changed
also
on board
going-
and shit.
yeah.
Riker's
I have
also
to say,
going if we hang around, I'm going to drive over them. I'm going to do something stupid.
Yeah, I'm going to break the ship somehow. We only just escaped this one. What were you going to say?
We've got
I was
we've
just
got
gonna
the
say
ship
there was-
powered back up again. Let's just get out of here while we've got power. You know, because who knows if I can only warp for about a few seconds. At least we'll be back in Federation space and we can call for help.
Yeah. No, I was going to say there was one scene aboard the Shrike with Amanda Plummer when she was going around in the chair. And
Oh, yeah, I missed that shot when she's like, and she's opening the jaws of, and that was really played to Valley
her
of
father.
the Beast.
Well, that also paid
into her
homage
father,
to her
like
father.
she's spinning around laughing and she's like,
Yeah.
yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yeah, because we all know that Canadians make the best baddies in Star Trek, right?
Yep. There is no denying that. and the best captains. Come on.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, but all that you've got to do to make a
Canadian, because that's
all you've got to do to make
William Shatner.
my favorite captain will remains Cisco.
Yeah, but
I'm kind of partial. I do like Cisco. I mean, I can't pick a captain. We've had this argument, but I like them all. Yeah. They're all good.
I do
but
too.
Donald,
I like Shaw.
But Cisco's my favorite character in the Star Trek verse.
I mean, if you put a gun to my head, my favorite series is Deep Space Nine. If you put a gun to my head.
Favorite series, Deep Space Nine for me too. But my love of Cisco is greater than my love of D.
I do love it. When Cisco got the goatee, he was
once he became a proper man and shaved his hair off, because no men have hair. That's just
right.
Well, the interesting thing is he had that goatee before he played the part, and when he auditioned, they said, "Yeah, you got the part, but you got to take that off."
Yeah.
And then later on, when he got to bring it back, he was allowed to bring it back between the two seasons.
Yeah, it sucks that he got into I don't know exactly all the details, but it seems he kind of got into a political kind of a thing with race and stuff, and got left acting altogether. Went back.
Yeah, he's turned into a recluse. He's not really doing anything.
Yeah. And it's a shame because he was such a great actor. Such a great actor.
Agree.
Yeah.
And I feel like I wish he could come back and be given a platform, even if it's something a woke platform that I wouldn't enjoy.
Like even a documentary series or
a
talk show or something. Yeah, something.
Yeah. I mean, again, even if it's something I wouldn't enjoy the product, I feel like we're missing out on just a human that needs to have a platform and a voice.
Yeah. Well, he's the only X06 I've bought so far. I wanted to get the other ones, but I've only bought Cisco so far. Here's something. On one of the interviews with Terry Matalas, there was a thing where they asked, "Are we going to get a Worf from X06?" And he says, "No." I can't say, but yeah. He was like, "Oh, so it looks like we're going to get some new X06, so we might get a Worf. That's going to be awesome."
I mean, yeah, older Worf would be pretty goddamn awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, with that curleth on his back and the hair, the ponytail. Yeah, fuck yeah, that'd be sick.
Casually dressed.
Yep. Casual clothes, yep.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be brilliant.
But going back to the whole thing about making Canadians bad, all that you got to do to make a Canadian bad is to stop them from apologising.
Very true. Very true. Or deprive us of our morning Hortons and watch out.
Yes.
Yep.
So last week I have been in basically 13-hour days and meetings. So we had our entire global team come in. So we had our team from the Netherlands, but one of our guys is an IT guy, and he's from Argentina, but he now lives in Vancouver as of a year ago. Dude has already learned French, so when we had one of our French bankers in, he's literally speaking French to her, and like this other woman from Argentina who we hired because he knew her, she just looks over and goes, God, he loves to show off. He speaks so many languages. And he's over there, like, he stopped speaking French, and someone's like, "Oh, how many languages do you speak? Like 4 or whatever?" And he goes, "Well, Spanish, French, English, Hebrew." It's just like, fuck.
Yeah, it's like one of my coworkers. She actually speaks 7 languages. She can speak Portuguese, Spanish, Italian, French. Like, holy crap! Like,
my old boss, he's a polyglot as well. Fluent speaker. I'd love to be a polyglot, just to like he's told me things when he's been traveling and stuff, and he's on a bus, and you might have some Italians talking, some French talking, and then he just starts talking to each group, and it's like, oh, that'd be so cool.
Yeah, some people like,
because at the beginning of this episode, Picard is in that bar 5 years ago, and he's saying there's always hope. So we get the full circle. There was always hope, so they could get out, and then we get a second closure in the old episode where Jack said
he realizes,
Beverly said he never reached out, and that's right. And the bar scene originally, it was like, well, I'm Jack. I can live by myself. That's all I know. Maybe I don't need this. And then Picard said, maybe I do, which makes sense. And then
that was such a thing I was waiting to hear on, like such a big moment, like for him to humanize himself and say, yeah, but Jack, I need this. Like, it was, that's such a thing, like, because men were like that's such a thing. Like, men are not supposed to talk about how they need their kids and how they're important. We're not supposed to say it, but yet at the same time, like, you'll see guys like, I'm, like, no, that's my son. I want to, be a part of his life. And for some reason, like, pop culture seems to just play down the fact that men care about their kids. And it was so refreshing to see Picard be like, no, it's not you need me. I don't think you need me. I need you. You're my son. Like, it was so powerful. And I'm so glad they did that. Like, because I think they could have.
It's such a huge contradiction from when we cut back to this scene 5 years ago when he's there and it says, what about your family? And he's like, I don't need family. I've got Starfleet. And then he realizes, and we get this again, another great scene between two people without a single word saying, and everything is just in their expression. It's like, holy shit.
And I think the important message that we always got to go back to is that he didn't need family. But just because you don't need a family doesn't mean if you have one, you don't want to be a part of their lives.
No, but you've also got to remember that in the movies, especially in Generations, he basically says how he regrets the fact that he didn't have a family.
Yep.
Yeah, but I mean,
he knows that the thing is not real in the Nexus because he never had a family, and it's his greatest regret. And the whole thing about the Nexus was that you could go and relive and redo your life any way that you wanted.
Yeah, well, speaking
and
of
look how emotionally it hit him when he was in at the Inner Light, when he had that whole lifetime with the family and children and everything like that, and how it really influenced and shook him up.
Can we just bring up an elephant in the room that I pointed out earlier? In 10 forward, in the bar, there's a picture of Picard and Guinan together on the wall from the fucking Nexus.
Yep.
How did he get a picture from the Nexus? Did he bring back souvenirs when he left the Nexus? Be like, hey, guess where I was? Here you go. Like, I mean,
no,
come
but
on.
Guinan could have gotten that commission for him.
But
yeah, the whole time thing with Guinan.
Because with the whole thing with
Yeah.
her
But
species,
still-
she does live in multiple times. So
no, but still, like an actual picture of both of them in the Nexus in that scene when they're in the house from Generations. Did Picard bring back souvenirs? Did Guinan bring back souvenirs? Like, how the hell did they get that goddamn picture?
Guinan seems like the
Yeah,
kind of person to bring back souvenirs. So I'm just saying.
you've got to remember that
Yeah, I mean, she's been around for a long time, so she wants to remember stuff. Yeah.
when Picard goes back onto the Enterprise after getting out of the Nexus, and he goes down to 10 forward, he goes down and sees Guinan, and Guinan basically telling him, "I told you," because she remembers everything that happened in the Nexus, even though that she hasn't been she's not in the Nexus.
But
Yeah, that's a good point.
Guinan wasn't actually in the Nexus with them either. That was just like what did she call it? An after ghost or whatever the hell it was. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
No, and that's
how?
right. because
How did that picture get there? Was there somebody
Because she's-
around with a Polaroid? Like,
Yeah.
Did they hire somebody? Like,
I mean, I assume tricorders could potentially just 3D photo everything at all times when they're active.
but he didn't have a tricorder with him in the goddamn Nexus.
Who knows?
How do you know? He could have turned around and thought of one, and it came up. Maybe he thought of the photo and he took it with him.
Hey, we don't know what Google's going to be like in a couple hundred years. Google probably took the photo.
No, Google.
We got AI Chat GPT now, so yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it was probably Google Earth.
Yeah, Google will probably murder us in the next couple hundred years.
Like it was probably Google Enterprise. Like they're just constantly photographing everything.
Like,
I
yeah.
love these details where you got the Delta sitting on the.
Like the
Stop
board
trying
are
to
slaughtering
zoom in.
everybody, and
Stop trying to
Google-
zoom in on her phone number, Ken.
What? The phone number? Yeah, it's down here.
Also,
Zoom in on her phone.
by the way, you also noticed that apparently Deanna also is living in a lightless house where there's no light. It's just
Yeah, no light, exactly. Yep. There's no light in the 25th
Yeah,
century.
nobody pays the power bills in the 25th century.
Like it's
No,
just,
Well,
exactly.
they don't have money to pay power bill, remember?
You got more power than you could ever use with warp technology, but anyway.
Yeah, nobody has light. They figured out fusion, but
they
can't afford
agree.
lights. Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Maybe it's late at night. He's woken her up,
So anyway, we get this backwards and forwards where he's empathic now, and she can sense that. I haven't heard you say that since blah 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 in a long time. So
Yeah.
and then I like this, but it kind of bugged me a little bit because you get
Where's all the damage?
you get
Well,
no, you still got the damage,
but
you still got the damage there.
yeah.
Look at that big splattered hole there. But you get a captain's log kind of thing. But he says Admiral. It's like, yeah, but you're retired.
Log.
Yeah, it should have been personal log.
Yeah.
But it was still
Amazing
cool.
how
It was still cool.
It's amazing how those little things can bug us. That really
Yes,
means
but
that
he was
really need-
operating as active because he was in command of the ship.
No,
Yes.
no. He's retired.
Because
Once
he
you're
got-
retired, you're retired.
Yeah, but no, because
I know. He came out of retirement and got a rank, a position. He can come out of retirement, but he hasn't actively come out of retirement.
he hasn't
like an
actively
advisor.
come out of a lot of it. So Ken, so
I mean,
Second?
this is Picard. So there's a lot of skeletons still in the cupboard.
I mean,
And then
yeah,
we get this. So obviously
hallucinations.
Jack's scarred as hell because there's some weird shit going on, like a real post-apocalyptic hell.
Yeah,
thing
end of
happening.
world, magic mushroom,
Yeah.
bad trip. Like, yeah.
Well, this is what makes
Yeah.
me think that he's probably gotten something from Picard from when he was in the next.
Who knows? He's been on the outer rim, in the outer past Federation space with all these species and stuff. So who knows what he's got? Whether he's part changeling or who knows? We're about to find out. But that's why we got to watch the rest of the show. We could theorize till the cows come home, but we're not going to. So yes,
this is where we need Jim, because he's always pretty good at the guessing what's going to happen next based on this stuff.
Yeah, I'm just glad that I didn't have to take magic mushrooms this episode. So
Jim's still out.
Riker wasn't.
Jim's taking the magic mushroom for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good episode. I think it's one of my favorites so far.
It's my favorite so far.
And of course, we have to come back to this because how could we?
Yeah, I accidentally came back to that.
Yeah, but why not?
Why not? True.
Yeah, this was such a good episode because this was Star Trek through and through, a whole episode. Not partial, not like, oh well, I mean, it's kind of. This was Star Trek. This was like an episode of TNG. Yeah, a good one.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, 100%.
My favorite so far.
Yeah, and it's basically because it just kept its pace, and it built and it built and it built and it built.
Well, it's just everything. I mean, it's just the character development, the writing, the directing, just everything. It's just the payoffs. Like you can't at the beginning.
You can't say the line.
My brain immediately went, "Oh, here! I bet you're going to do another pass scene." I'm like, "Oh, these fucking pass scenes." But then it really sets up something that it just you can call back on it. It makes And you kind of got to do that in these episodic kind of things where you have too much things.
The best part of it was they didn't end it on a ridiculous cliffhanger.
No, agreed. Yep.
No, none of that.
I agree.
That's been such a frustration point for me watching these like modern, because they're not just episodic. It's like they want it to be like one movie, and they want it in every episode with some goddamn cliffhanger. It's like, dude, sometimes just end an episode and let us just want more because it was a good episode. Don't make us want more because you stopped in the middle of like the last episode. Oh, now they're gonna die. Like, fuck off. This ended just. You guys mentioned the thing with Jack. I didn't even notice that. Like that's a subtle, cool, whatever. We'll have more episodes. So that's not a frustrating, shitty end of the episode thing,
No, it's like it's a setup. It's like, oh shit, what's going on, Jack, kind of thing. And how does what's going on here?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even notice it. I watched the episode yesterday, and admittedly, I was drinking and not eating yesterday, so it was a poor decision.
Yep.
Because I'm back to I'm going to go full fast here this week coming up, and last week I literally I fasted during the day, but I had ridiculously heavy dinners, so my alcohol tolerance is weirdly messed up right now.
Whoops.
Cheers.
Finally got to see a Scotch down on the stream. No worries, Lou. Good decision.
Yep. Well, and you're not getting a traditional Scotch down there. You're getting more of a Trek version.
Yep. A whiskey Trek. So this is the L cars, and you can actually click on sections. This is so cool.
Yeah, it is. It's really cool.
Dude, I'm telling you, they've done an incredible job with that stuff. I wish they'd put some fucking lighting in this.
Yeah, that's the bugbear that everyone's saying. It's like, well, why can't we just have some lights, please?
I'm just at a complete loss as to how they thought that was the thing. And people keep talking about how it's cinematic, but have people not grasped the fact that nobody watches movies anymore? Like, cinematic is not something people want. They have actively gone away from it. The only things that sells in theaters now are comic book hero movies. That's it. Like, we like what TV has done for us. Make it feel like a TV series.
True. Yep.
Movies are dead.
Yeah. Oh, there's a you can change. You actually got the lights on here as well. You can darken them down. I love it. You can do the red alert. It's actually got audio as well. Where's the audio? What the audio settings? I can't see it. Anyway, and then he's got his other ones. So if you go, if you cut back. Oh, he's even made a this one as well. I thought you'd get a chuckle out of that.
That's great. Yes.
But he's also added like JWST images with all information and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so he's added all this stuff to it as well, which is just super cool.
Yeah, that's badass for sure.
Yeah, but I didn't think it.
So these on the website, and then you can download the other one as a screensaver. And if you watched Eric's,
Good day.
like he's not here now.
Donna
Donna
Pass
Pass.
Whiskey.
Work up the mountains,
Cheers,
countryside
mate.
on rain or snow, which equals a big sloppy, heavy, wet. Ugh. Yeah, that's no fun.
Okay, we're officially going late because Donner's awake.
Oh, we went like 4 hours on the first episode. Normally we just sit around two.
You guys only did like 2 hours on the last one, so it would have been done by.
Yeah, I was tired.
I
As,
don't know.
I've got a.
We were in the after party for a fair bit.
For a little
Oh,
bit, yeah.
true.
You just reminded me I have to do a thumbnail for tomorrow's video. Ugh, I hate freaking thumbnails.
Because the second one you were busy redoing all the L cards as well in the after party.
Yeah, but that was pretty quick.
Yeah.
I really like this one. So this is a great screensaver to have on one of your monitors or something like, because it's got the countdown and everything when the next episode airs. Plus, it's got airings about all the other previous episodes, which is pretty damn cool. Plus, you can Borgify it.
Oh wow.
Yeah, they can full on Borgify it.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And I love how it's got the actual sounds too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got all the sounds. Like all of them have got the sounds, but I'll just turn this one on. But yeah, you can. Yeah, it's just. He's done some really good stuff.
Now, if only Microsoft could, make that interface for Windows, it would be brilliant.
Oh, there was a skin years ago back in Windows. I'm trying to remember which version. Where I pretty much turned my computer into LCARS. It was awesome. I think you'd have to. It was. I think it was some version of Power Toys or something, and then some other software. And then someone made a full LCARS skin. So my computer was pretty much LCARS. And I did it with my phone back in the day as well.
Yeah. You can do it with your Android phone. Yeah.
Yep. But yeah, he's got the full screensaver. So yeah, Eric did it when he's shot ahead it all on his screen. So this is Starfield 47. So that's the actual. This is a different one. This one's pretty cool. You can put this on automatic.
Oh, hooray! It's half an hour from being 3 a.m. Because as soon as it hits 2 a.m., then it's going to become 3 a.m. because the.
Oh yeah, you lose your hour. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, the wonders of our bullshit time change for no fucking reason.
Yep, I agree.
See, we don't suffer that over here, do we, Ken?
The worst part is like part of America doesn't do it, part does, part of Europe. Also, Europe does it like 2 weeks after us, so for some fucking stupid reason, we have to deal with that shit. It's just
Well, yeah, because W signed into law about 20 years ago as an energy saving measure to make it go forward by 2 weeks. So, yeah, I'm like, it's so stupid. I can't wait till they get rid of the goddamn thing.
well, you know what pisses me off is the fact that in the U.S. we have of course our what I always like to say is our 4 branches of government. And the branch that's supposed to be the slow, never change anything group, they voted and agreed to get rid of fucking daylight savings time. And it's the other stupid cunts who won't fucking go ahead and end it.
Yep.
Like, what the hell? We actually have a path forward for the first time ever. Our government's actually doing their goddamn job.
Yep.
It's crazy. Like, why can't we get rid of this shit?
And they won't get rid of it here until you guys get rid of it in the U.S. because it's going to be too confusing for people crossing the border when all of a sudden, oh, you got to, switch your clock back an hour going north and south? What? Just makes no sense.
Well, I mean, it makes sense because, I mean, we've got parts of the U.S. that literally where we've got time zones that make no sense here because nothing other than, well, it just makes it's the way we do it.
No, I get it. It here in Canada, I think only Saskatchewan doesn't do the forward and back every spring.
We don't do it here in Western Australia, and they don't do it with Chris and Lily's
They don't do it in Queensland, and they don't do it in Northern Territory.
Oh, not NT as well. Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, I mean, it's changing.
They wouldn't have the sun setting till midnight.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's the whole thing here in the summer. The sun goes down at 10:30, 11 o'clock. By the time you take into account with the daylight savings, and then they want to make daylight savings year round here, which means in the winter the sun wouldn't come up till like 9:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always say this. I mean, like, it's a stupid system, but unfortunately, we're stuck with it in the business world. Like, I mean, the reality is, everybody in the world wants to be somehow, in their best position to be with quote unquote New York time, because New York and London run the world. And that's the reality. Those two cities are the meccas.
Yeah, for finance, yeah.
Well, I mean, not just for finance, but I mean, legal contracts and things like that. I mean, they're all written based on that bullshit. I mean, it's just it's the world we live in.
There we go. Yeah.
Like, I mean, I've literally read, legal contracts where it says this must be delivered by this time, New York time, not Eastern Standard, New York. In other words, if New York changes their time, it's not Eastern. It must be New York City's time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't think there's an audio one for this, but anyway, it's fucking cool.
Yep.
All right. Well, we'll find out. So tomorrow, Mike and I, we've got Glen Going cast strength versus Glendronach cast strength.
That should be pretty cool.
I mean, not my two favorite whiskeys, or by any stretch, but I think it should do well in terms of views. I hope. Definitely, it was fun to do because it's stuff I've never put side by side before, and it's kind of the best way to take advantage of older bottles that are not like the new releases. Just put them in a versus.
Yeah.
So my thumbnail is cast strength, sherry shootout.
Okay, cool. Oh man,
We've been doing a lot of obscure stuff lately, so hopefully this gets us some views. We've been losing views massively the last few weeks. The real challenge, right? Like you want to be like different than other channels, but at the same time, if you get too different, nobody watches.
yeah. Oh
Yep.
man.
But I think our next
That's
couple.
another thing, Chris.
Yeah, it's gone through now. Now it's just 16 years old.
Yeah, I
It's that
bet.
post sauna
Yeah.
bath now.
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just turned the
Basic-
aircon on. Fucking sweating balls.
Basically, where you go outside and you've got like crotch rot, ass crack, chaps,
Uh-huh.
the whole bit in one friggin' go.
Yep.
Terrible.
All right, should we wrap this episode up?
Sure.
Yep.
I think we're done talking about Trek for sure.
Yep.
Yep. So we'll look forward to next week with episode 5. See what's happening. These meant to be episode 5 and 6 are meant to be really good. So looking forward to that. See what happens. And it's good though. Actually excited to watch an episode of Star Trek and talk about it. It's been a while.
This is
Yeah.
this is the most excited I've been with Trek in a long time. When's the new
Same.
season of the other series going to start?
Strange New Worlds.
Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. Well, we're not talking about the garbage Star Trek. We're not the
Yeah.
the good one. That actually is.
Well, that's been cancelled now, thank fuck. But that's not till 2024 when that bullshit comes out.
Yeah. I can't wait for 2024 before it's all over.
I can honestly tell you I haven't watched a single episode of Discovery since season 2, and
Yeah, it's
I was literally
Like 2 episodes. No, I got half.
I got that garbage.
I
I was just like,
haven't seen any season 2.
yeah.
but I desperately do want to see a new Strange New Worlds. I mean that series has got so much potential, and that's the one that they're going to keep making.
Yes.
Like, we're happy with Picard right now, but this is the last season of Picard. I know there's been talk of maybe doing a 7 of 9 series later, which if they do it, cool.
Yeah.
At least this season is showing us that there's potential. And also, if they do that,
Yes, it's
it'll
not.
be in the future. So at least it's not.
Not so much.
But I went on
March.
IMDb.
Really?
Yeah.
March. Oh, okay, cool. So this month.
Okay.
I'll probably towards the last couple of episodes of Picard though.
Oh well, that's awesome, man. Because I'm telling you that series, if they don't fuck it up, could be epic. I'm obviously nervous they're going to fuck it up, but
Oh,
Yeah.
wait a minute. No, wait a
and,
minute.
I'm hoping this
Interim
season.
rate has not been confirmed as of March.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
it's
it's
still
supposed to be
speculating.
out this year sometime.
Well, I mean,
I know
Yeah,
that.
2023.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's still speculation.
Well, I mean, does IMDb not have anything on it?
No.
No, I was just looking on StarTrek.com digital fix and stuff because season 4, I mean, Discovery's been canned and pushed back to 24. We don't know what's going on yet. There hasn't been an official announcement.
I still don't know how Discovery stayed on the air so long. It was just such a.
Oh, God, man! After the first,
Uh,
season, I thought how badly it was received. I thought it was like, "Fuck, they're going to kill this," but no. And then when they announced the next season, I'm like, "Fuck!" And then the next one, I was like, "Fuck, haven't they killed this shit yet?"
Yeah,
The
and
thing
then-
that drives me nuts is how did Enterprise not get a fucking 6th and 7th season? Like,
Well, fifth.
You
they
want to
just-
know? That's the piece of shit. Fucking, I blocked his name out of my head. He was a piece of shit.
I know, but it's like
He
that
can.
show was because Enterprise was kind of a piece of shit the first season, and by season 2 you're like, well, this might work.
So by season 2, it worked, and then
Yeah, it got really good.
yeah,
Well, season 2 wasn't really good. Season 2 it started working, and season 3 was like, oh, this is awesome.
and then season 4, the way they retconned some of the
Mendes, that's it. Fucking Mendes. He was the piece of shit.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. Now that said, though, admittedly, Scott Bakula being the captain probably took me 4 seasons to accept.
Why?
Because he's
Oh no, I was in straight up. I'm like,
yeah,
Quantum
me
Leap.
too.
because-
Exactly. Yeah.
It's because who he is. Like he's like I recognize his face. Like he's not Star Trek. So like for him to be in the Star Trek universe, like took me a while for my brain to like adjust.
I thought Archer was a great.
Me
Anyone who first comes into Star Trek isn't a part of Star Trek. So
Yeah.
No.
Like, the thing is, because traditionally,
except for Terry's buddy Todd Shashwick, which everyone hates, Liam Shaw. He's a diehard nerd. Like you imagine my room with whiskey, he's got nerd stuff. He's still got his original Mego figurines of the original series were given to him as a kid, and he wants to get a Shaw Mego figurine so he can put it so it's like full circle. Like he grew up watching the original series and shit. Like he's a diehard nerd.
Cool.
Diehard nerd. I'm like, fuck yeah. I mean, he's written a comic book. He's co-authored a comic book and shit. He's a nerd.
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just, I mean, again, Bakula has just done so many other series. Like he was so recognizable. It'd be like if Arnold Schwarzenegger was suddenly a captain on a ship. I'd just be like,
well, we did have The Rock. We did have The Rock.
No, but I mean, Arnold Schwarzenegger as captain, it's like, get down to the shuttlecraft now.
Well, he's going to have to be a Klingon. That's all there is. He's going to have to be a Klingon or a Cardassian or something. You couldn't have him as a Klingon.
Also, at the same time, I want to see Arnold in Star Trek, but I'm just saying, like, like it would take me like a year to like get past the fact that it's Arnold. You know, it's hard to get past. Like, I know who you are, and you're not part of this.
Yeah.
No, he'd have to be an old retired or an admiral or general.
Well, I mean, he's an old man now, so I mean that makes sense.
Or an old Mako or something.
So
like,
yeah, that'd be good.
I just googled Arnold. He really I'm surprised he's not doing a lot of. He's not doing a lot of movies right now. I'm actually surprised. I thought Arnold would be cranking out movies. He really isn't. I'm surprised.
He doesn't need to. He's got all the money in the world, and
yeah, but I mean, I think he likes acting. You know, like that's the thing.
oh no, of course he does, but
because I'd like to see Arnold in a movie.
Probably on maybe again tonight or tomorrow night. We'll see how we go.
Okay.
We'll wrap this episode
Apparently
up.
Netflix
Or next time
has got a new Arnold thing coming out.
for the next episode. Cheers, everybody.
Yeah.
cheers.
Look forward to the next episode.
Yep.
Cheers.
Oh yeah, we are officially sponsored by Jameson.
Yeah.
Live long and suck a dick.
Yeah. Live long and sin mit you, bitches.
Nanu.
Shut up.